Come on. The very, very, the very, very bumpy road to WrestleMania has begun. The Elimination Chamber is in the history books. Now we are 7 weeks away from WrestleMania 42 from Vegas once again. What an absolute.
What do you think? Which one do you think's bumpier, this one or WrestleMania X3?
X3. You mean 13?
Yeah,
X3, bro.
Come on, bro. I thought that ND brain would calibrate it quicker than that.
X3. No, I don't know. We have 7 weeks left. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Would we, and this is where things get weird, would we really know if it wasn't for like the sheets? Let's pretend that there were no inside information or any of that. How much would we really know? You know, for if like the casual audience might think that everything we're seeing was planned months ago, right? But I think X3 might still be, you know, it's very similar actually. Now
remember, bro, WrestleMania 3, they announced the match in February and it was like in March. So it's like that had like a month buildup, and that drew 78,000 fans. So like to me, I always go back to that, like, because remember, okay, so last year it was the opposite. They had a card relatively early, and then they peaked way too early. And I don't know if you remember, but remember, like 2 weeks before the show, 3 weeks before the show, there was a lot of filler. Like they had peaked,
of course,
they had peaked way too early last year. So to me, like a sweet spot, you really want to start like really promoting like 4 weeks out. Like 4 weeks out, you go balls to the wall and you do your promotion, because when you start too early, you could peak early. When you start too late, you don't get the hype. So I think we're still good. Like you said, I think this is more a consequence of the dirt sheets and all that stuff. But here's the reality: it's still first of all, we know that what's happening because of the the news and all that, the internet. But also, it also shows the fact that they're a mess right now, which is concerning. So
right, and that's kind of what I was getting to.
I mean, all the information. So we know that it's a mess, and that forget about the what we're seeing on screen. That's I think Raw was okay. I didn't like it too much, but it was better than the pay-per-view. I'll tell you that. But it doesn't bother me as much because, like you said, whatever's on screen, we're gonna get there in time. But what does bother me is that we have information to know that they've ripped up the card countless times. They've started over. Some of it their fault. Some of it's not their fault.
That's exactly my point. That's exactly
it.
And
like, some of it is because of injury. Some of it is because of lack of decisions, whatever. So yeah. But
no,
very
and
bumpy.
13 when 13 was coming around, I was 12, right? I was 12 years old. I didn't know anything about the internet or the dirt sheets or any of that. I mean, I knew pro wrestling was a work, but like nobody could have really guessed that. Oh, they wanted to do Shawn and Brett too. Like there was very little buildup to that on television. Wait
a minute, wasn't that when you were going around being the reporter in your high school? No, that was pre-high school.
This is pre-high school, exactly. And so I had no idea. Nobody had a clue until until the internet came around, and unlike a lot of kids, When I was 12, I didn't have the internet at home. You know, we didn't have that luxury. You understand what I'm saying?
You didn't go to the library?
Not when, well, I did in school, but I didn't. The internet there was pretty locked down. Like I didn't know about a pro wrestling news website, bro. Not till like 9th grade. 9th grade I did, but not like 7th grade. So for WrestleMania 13, you really couldn't have guessed that the big matches had like very little buildup, even though the championship changed a lot right before the WrestleMania. But with this one, yeah, that's what I'm saying. In fact, what's funny is I remember you and I had a conversation back in like October, and we were discussing what WrestleMania was going to be. And I remember telling you that I had thought that Cody and Randy Orton was a possibility, that was a plan. But then a few weeks later, it came out through, I think it was the Observer, that they switched it over to Roman and Cody 3. And I was thinking, okay, you know what? That's already been a big match for them. You can do the third one and do the final. Like they're 1-1, so I get it. Maybe Cody's the heel this time if they want to go in that direction. But then it kept sort of going in this, and now we have a situation where it appears like they are going back to Cody versus Randy, because I do believe, and we're about 4 days away from SmackDown, I do believe Cody's getting the title back on SmackDown. I think Jacob's going to fuck over Drew, and I believe that that's the match, Cody and Randy Orton. They've got history with they and I was looking over the card, and I don't know, like it. I don't think it's a WrestleMania worthy match, but I feel like you said, under these conditions, all these injuries hurt them, and there's really not, like, really what we should have been seeing is Rock and Cody or Rock and Roman. That's really what we should have been seeing. But you can't trust that asshole Dwayne anymore, because he'll come and go when he wants. So that's really what we should be getting, considering that there's real buildup there. But we're going to get this. And so I looked at it. I said, okay, well, because of the injuries, it's not the best idea, or it's one of the best things they could do. But there's other options, yes. But I feel like the big problem is that they didn't get enough people over to be natural contenders in the past year. Actually, in the past couple of years, they haven't gotten anybody. Jacob, I think, was close, but he never really crossed into that logical main event.
And also, I don't know if you noticed this, but over the last couple of weeks, they've completely changed his character. Like, that was a Vince thing, where it's like, when you're a baby face, you have to start shaking hands and kissing babies. He's not the same Jacob Fatu, like that beast that we saw in the beginning that actually got over, the one that got over in last year's Royal Rumble when he had a face-to-face with Roman. That Jacob's not even around anymore. Now it's this happy-go-lucky kissing babies. You know, he had like a linear conversation with Sami Zayn on SmackDown. I was like, this guy would have never done that a year ago. Even if they're boys, he would have been focused on the match, and he would have been like, get the fuck away from me, like, because he's dialed in. He's always dialed in. Now it's like, yo, what's up, Sammy? Yeah, Jimmy's not looking too good, and then Sammy's talk shit to him. You know. By the way, I think it's Sammy the one that. Sammy, I feel like he's gonna work with one of the Usos or whatever, because he was. That's my theory anyway. I think he's the one
that laid out Jay and Jacob.
No, maybe Jacob too. Yeah, that would be something.
Because they dropped. It felt like they dropped the whole mystery Jacob thing. I was thinking
it was like a throwaway line of like Drew did it, but Drew never actually took accountability for it. So
that's right. And it's probably not Drew.
Listen. If they want to do more highbrow entertainment, it's not that they dropped it; it's that they put it in their back pocket to bring it out.
That's what I'm hoping for.
So there's a difference now. There's a difference.
Yeah, I'm hoping for that. And just to add to what you're saying, look, we've been watching wrestling, and it's not a wrestling thing; it's a TV show thing. When there is a mystery attacker or a mystery person, whenever the commentators or the people in the storyline blame somebody, you and I know that 90% of the time, the person they blame is not the one responsible. That's a bait and switch.
Except for one person, brother. Except for fucking Tatanka and Lex Luger. Because Lex Luger said it was Tatanka the whole time.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't. Who says it was?
Tatanka said it was Lex and it was a swerve. No. There was one time. By the way, did you see that mark at the? Did you see that? Huh? Did you see the mark at Elimination Chamber who had the sign that said, "I'm late, Winston Tonka versus Lex Luger"?
And you know why I popped for that sign? Because
the United Center.
But they've only been there once, and that was way back because they always go to the Allstate Arena.
And that surprised me. They always go to Rosemont. That's like their home building in Chicago.
But I think it's because now we're living in their greedy phase. So the United Center is a bigger arena. They could fit more people, you know?
Yeah, it's bigger.
The Allstate is a lot smaller.
Yeah, it is bigger, and it's in the middle of Chicago, which is wealthier people. And we'll talk about the crowd if you want to.
When did you go there, bro?
What
did you see at the United Center? I know you've been to the Allstate
I've been to the Now Arena, the Allstate Arena, and the United Center.
Well, there's another one there that you haven't been to. The one that had WCW that was the Now Arena.
No,
right?
That was the Now Arena. Yeah, but they renamed that shit every couple of years.
The UFC Pavilion.
UTC Pavilion, yeah, not UFC Pavilion, bro. UTC.
I wish,
Pavilion.
Bro. With the little guy, with the bald guy with the fist.
That's right. I saw Forbidden Door 2022.
Okay. And that was in the United Center? Okay.
Yeah, I was United Center.
Because that building has out. Is it like it looks big to me, bro?
It is big. It's huge. But they also, if you remember, they had Nitro there because in the 90s and even in the 2000s,
Rodzilla brought those houses in, bro. Remember, Rodzilla was with the Bulls at the time.
Of course, but that was in the late 90s. But true. But what I was going to tell you was WWF always had Rosemont. Like, it's always been in Rosemont. They have some kind of deal with that building from the 80s to the 90s to the 2000s, 2010s. It's always Rosemont. Nitro ran 3, 4, 5 shows from the United Center because they couldn't get into the Rosemont.
Yeah, that's my surround sound going off. That was my surround sound going off.
Oh, that's kind of cool. But no, what I was gonna say was damn, I was gonna make a point about the build.
Cara de Papa's giving us some insight into why they ran the United Center. Bro, who does he have on his thing? Is that Tiffany Stratton?
I think so.
Because she does have a cara de papa, bro.
Yeah, well.
Remember, it's very difficult for women with round faces to be considered pretty.
All right. I don't know what to tell you.
No, I mean, that's a fact. I mean, that's a scientific fact. And it's not my opinion either. I think there's some girls that have round faces that are okay.
I don't know what to tell you, bro. But what? Okay, so
the point is that she has kind of the papa, bro.
So the point I was going to make is about mysteries and storytelling. They never are going to actually give away the culprit. They'll lead you into thinking it's one person and then do the twist. This has been the way it's been going back hundreds of years. It's not Drew McIntyre. But you said the only time was at SummerSlam, but there was one other time.
I think
but there was one time when it was in '97 when DDP was going to have a mystery partner against Hall and Randy Savage. The commentary team and Mean Gene asked him, "Is it Kurt Hennig? Is it Raven?" And it wound up being Kurt Hennig. And I remember that being very disappointing because I was like, "Okay, you already gave it away. Like, you're not supposed to give it away. You're not supposed to tell us who the actual mystery is." So the person who I wish it was is Cody, because I think he needs to be freshened up with a heel turn or something. He is stale. I think he's going to end up being Randy Orton. That's what I think. I just have that feeling it's going to be Randy Orton, who took out Jacob just to fuck over Drew and who took out Jey Uso. But at the same time, it doesn't make that much sense for it to be either guy either, because what history does Randy have with Jey Uso?
Well, you're starting the feud. I mean, because like
but why did he take him out? Why did he take him out? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it doesn't really make sense. But you said it was to fuck with Drew McIntyre.
With Drew, yeah, but Randy hates Drew is based on their feud last year.
Well, he hates him in general, bro. So maybe. But okay, so wait a minute. Your logic because I don't agree with you as far as Randall K being the guy.
I'm saying that. Who else? Who else could it be?
Sammy's saying that they're building towards that. You know, he's kind of like he's conflicted. He's had that weird fucking Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde thing going on SmackDown over the last couple of weeks. And it seems like he's somebody that's just kind of pushing buttons.
You think they're going to turn him?
I think they're definitely going to turn him. I think they're on their way to turn him.
I don't know, man. I'm not sold on that yet.
I mean, you missed SmackDown like 2 weeks, so you haven't really kept up with the storyline.
I mean, I'm not doubting you. I'm just saying that it's more so about the fact that Sammy.
Look, other than Papa has my back.
Okay. I mean, I he says it's obviously.
Look. I'll tell you this much: it's more. It would be more of a. It would be more logical if it's Sammy than if it's Randy. If you've been following the storyline.
I would agree with you. No, I would agree with you on that. I'm just, my thing is not so much about the, who did it when it comes to Sammy. It's more so like Sammy's always been played up as this underdog.
Yeah, well, but maybe, have you watched the last month, bro? Like he's gonna turn. For some people, he already turned. Like he's already turned.
Well, is that why at the Royal Rumble he looked so bad against Drew because they realized they were going to turn him anyways?
I think so, and that's when the heels turn started right there after that night.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wanted to address this. No, it's not. People always fuck this up. He didn't hook Mustafa Ali's leg. He hooked his foot. His foot. That's why it's funny.
Look, listen. I'm tired of Randall K as a headliner. He's old as fuck.
But you still think he's funny.
He's 45 years old. Okay, that's embarrassing, bro. What athletic competition still has 45-year-old men at a high level? That's embarrassing.
Are you 45?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm comfortable with where I'm at in life. I'm not a young man, and neither are you.
No, I never said I was. I think 45 is still pretty young, but I know what you mean in terms of high level main event guys. Yeah, because Cena, athletic like Boba Femi or athletic like
athletic as in an athlete like playing sports.
Speaking of athletes, you saw you probably didn't see it, but I know I told you about Mike Daniels being on my show, and I straight up asked him if football was a work, and he's like, Danny, you're more right than you realize, and I go, you mean the referees? He goes, no, man. He's like, I have seen things. And remember, he smartened me up in 2018 by telling me a few stories. Now he's pretty convinced, bro. And this guy was in the league. Bro.
Yeah, but
I've been saying the NFL is shady since 2002. Just like people have been saying the world is run by gay PDF files. And now look, all the secrets are coming out, folks. Maybe Pindar, Arizona Wilder will get a push sometime.
After what I saw before we started this stream, I think they're out there, brother. I think they're out there.
The truth is out there.
I don't disagree with him, brother. Me and you have been saying,
but he's been in the league. That's the difference. He's been in.
Bro, let's relax because we might get him hurt. I don't want to get him hurt.
No, I don't know, man.
They might silence him.
The Doc Marquis, bro.
He might get Doc Marquis, and we don't want another one. We've already decided about that. Remember, brother, Doc Marquis had better DVD menus than Ring of Honor DVDs.
You're right.
Remember, he worked you, bro. He worked into buying one of his DVDs.
No, that wasn't him. That was Lex Luger. He worked me into reading his book, and I never got the interview. That's
bro. But wait, this is what popped me. So you bought the DVD of Doc Marquis, and I remember being on the phone with you when you put it on, and you were marking out over the menus.
And I said they were better than Ring of Honor. I said it right there. I was like, this shit's got better production value than Ring of Honor.
And then we lost them like a year later.
No, it wasn't a year. It was a few years.
I'm doing the Hogan line, bro, with Andre died the day after WrestleMania.
Right after WrestleMania 3. All right. So we got a super chat. Anyone else notice WWE crowds have been lame the last couple of months? Do you guys think the Rowdy fans have been priced out? Crowd is full of rich, entitled people and streamers now.
They've been very dead, bro. They've been very dead. This guy brings up what's his name? Super the Great One. Name doesn't make sense, but that's okay. He's right. They have been dead. And you know what? He does bring up a good point that nobody has brought up, at least in my periphery anyway. Like, maybe it is that it's more, rich people going to these shows now.
I was thinking that during the Chicago show, because Chicago historically has had great crowds.
Rowdy crowds, yeah.
That crowd was not rowdy, bro. So putting it in the center of Chicago instead of in the suburbs is going to bring in more rich people. Plus, you got rich travelers that are now going, like the green shirt guy, who are going to all the pay-per-views.
Or Brock Lesnar guy, who recently retired, but then he was at the Chicago show. I think he's from there. The Brock Lesnar guy.
Yeah, he has a bad reputation among people I know, bro. Apparently, he's not that nice of a guy, but
bro, did you see the whole spiel he did when he retired last year, where he put his shirt on the chair and then he walked? Like, I'm like, what? You're a grown-ass man, bro.
That reminds me of the infamous tie-dye guy from Florida who goes to every wrestling show in Florida with a sign that says, "Hey, I'm the tie-dye guy." When you have a mark who's so self-entitled that he thinks he matters so much, it's always rubbed me the wrong way, bro.
Bro, you know who I miss at these shows, bro? No, it's not Vladimir, although we miss him.
Green Lantern?
No, Green
That's
Lantern.
Another one. Another one.
No, I miss, and when I tell this person, you're going to pop because you know exactly. And it's not Hot Dog Boy either. It's fucking the fake Hulk Hogan. Remember the fake Hulk Hogan?
Oh, bro? He's awesome, bro. When he'd always be in the crowd. There's a couple of them, but yeah, he'd always be in the crowd doing the.
Bro, he was there for years.
And he kind of looked like Terry, bro.
Yeah.
He even followed him to WCW for a while.
He was there for years, bro. But you know what? Nowadays, with the way things are, you can't. Nobody could get into these fucking movies anymore.
That's the real huckster.
That's right, bro.
The real huckster. Hey, what about the Undertaker Creatures of the Dark, bro? You always have 2 or 3 people in the crowd who dressed all gothic and shit and wore the Paul Bear white face,
that's right.
Bro.
Where did I just see one? Where I think because I remember I've been watching all the Big Four. And I'm in 1993 right now.
I think they were at the Rumble in 93?
No, at Survivor Series 92, there was one, the Paul Bear one. He kept on doing
That's right. He looked just like Paul Bear, and Vinny popped.
That's right. Vinny pops. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Vinny popped when he saw him.
Because that was when they had our boy Matt Bourne was still on the audience. He hadn't been introduced yet, and they show him right there.
That's the show when he gave all the kids balloons and then popped them, and then Bobby Heenan popped. I popped too, bro.
Purple Bonsaian is saying, Draven thoughts on Demolition going into the Hall of Fame.
Well, it's kind of about time, right? But wait. Before we get to that, let's finish off this question. I do think that, yes, people are being priced out. We talked about that in detail last show.
I know Danny's priced out.
I'm not priced out, but I'm just not going to spend the money to go. I might go to Backlash. I might not. It depends if tickets go down. We've talked about that, you and I.
I went to Collision for $30. $30! And I had the time of my life.
But that's not going to be as good as going to All In for fucking $200 and getting front row. Well, that was last. But that's a legendary story.
I'm going to be going to the Revolution next month,
which I'm excited about. I'm more hyped for that than I am WrestleMania.
For $70, I bought 2 tickets in the 100 section for $70. So these tickets are still our boy TK is still very much has a door lower middle class.
And that's a smart move, I think. I think it's a smart move because look at these crowds. And the thing is, there's 2 things going on. It's not just the fact that some fans are being priced out. It's also the fact that the product is also it's on a downswing, bro. It's cooled down. It's cooled down a lot, bro. So
although I gotta admit it, Raw, they shot a lot of angles on Raw. Raw was interesting.
Yes, they did, but it's still the past few months have been, and I would say even longer than that. Maybe since last summer, we've seen a big cool down period. Even with Cena, you can tell it's cooling down, and we knew it was going to happen, but it's just unfortunate to see they couldn't keep that momentum longer than a couple of years. Now, the Demolition question. I've been saying this.
Darsal, that bothers me. Not Darso. Oh no, he does. But you should have said Darsal, bro. Like we call him.
No. And so not. I don't think he gets the joke. I don't think he's not really like a long time listener. So this is the man who said last night in my Discord he lost respect for LA Knight. He's gonna get mad that I'm bringing this up on the air. And we're like, why? And he goes, because he lost. I go, is that his fault that he got booked to lose? He's like, yeah, but he blew a spot. I'm like, bro, you fucking start huffing and puffing after running 3 feet And we're talking about a professional wrestler blowing a spot. There's not a single wrestler in the business who's never blown a spot. You're always going to blow a spot at some point in your life, bro.
But is that I understand?
But then but listen. I did the classic. How old is
Purple Bond saying, bro?
No, hold on. He's 30. No, dude, there's a long story with him. He's in his 30s. But no, listen to the end of the story. I actually drowned him, but then like
doesn't get any matches with him, bro.
But like a good benevolent king, I also saved his life. I pulled him out of the water after I drowned him because he was clowned for saying stupid shit. And then immediately after I go, what you meant to say was you lost faith in LA Knight as a main eventer. And then he's like, that is what I meant to say and so I saved his life. Now I get where he's coming from because LA Knight, and you and I have talked about this, he's one of those guys who's right there on the cusp, but I don't know if they're ever going to really have him break through. And
why would they have to, bro? Not everybody.
Well, hold on. Let me finish my point. But eventually people are going to lose faith in him and he's going to go down the card and lose his overness.
This is stupid, bro. What?
How is that stupid?
Did Jake the Snake ever get pushed all the way to the top, or Hacksaw Jim Duggan?
I'm not saying that he needs to get pushed to the top.
First of all, like I don't know why we make the assumption that LA Knight should be in the heavyweight. Like why? What? He's in a spot
because it's a new guy and he's over.
He's not that new, bro. He's older than you.
No, he's a new main eventer and he's over.
Bro,
he would be a new main eventer and he's over. Okay. If they don't eventually break him through, he's gonna lose overness. That always happens.
Well, that's fine. Why is that a bad thing? That's what I guess that's my question. Why is that a bad thing?
Because when you have a guy who's over and he loses overness, that's potential box office problems. You're giving up.
But they've already given him main events. Okay, what is it that you? Okay, let me change the question. How is it that you want him to be booked? What is this going to the? Because he feuded with Roman Reigns. That was the top angle, and that
was a while ago.
I understand that, but he was already in the main event scene. Remember, Vince Senior had that formula, right? You bring in the guy, you give him the loop on top, and then you bring him down the card. Wash, rinse, repeat. That was his gimmick for years. Vince Senior, not Vince Junior. So that to me,
but that was a different era, bro. Like that's a different era.
But to me, that's how I see a lot of these guys. Like Roman Reigns, another LA Knight, he got to where he had to be. He's already been to the top. Like he's not gonna get what I fear. Let me listen to me. What I fear, I'm not saying you're saying this. I'm assuming you're saying this. Not saying you're saying this. I'm not putting words in your mouth. What I fear that you want to do is you still want to go back to these celebratory title reigns. Like when you give them the title because it's their turn. Like we need to get out of that, bro. Like you need
to get out of that because the Jey Uso thing was a big mistake last year.
Right. So LA Knight doesn't deserve the title, and he's not gonna. The title needs to be with the top guy. That's it. The title needs to be. But
when here's my counter to that. When you're in a situation where there's a lot of injuries and you have the opportunity to take a guy who's still healthy, albeit a little bit older, who's still healthy, and you want to have and create a fresh match, I feel like right now with this booking, let's say LA Knight won the Chamber. LA Knight versus Drew McIntyre is a fresh main event feud, and it's not Randall K. You could do Cody and Jacob on the undercard. I would have been a lot happier
with LA Knight.
That's it. Then point made. I rest my case. That was the point. But the joke of the whole thing was that he said that he lost respect for him when what he meant to say is he lost faith in him, which almost happened with Drew. Remember, Drew kept losing and losing and losing and losing. Then he finally beat Cody at the beginning of the year. So, but you know what's fucked up is now he's about to drop a title back to Cody. I mean, dude, does anybody really think they're going to do Drew and Randy? I think it's going to be Cody and Randy.
I'm kind of hoping Randy is nowhere near that, but whatever.
But he already won the Chamber. What are you going to do? It's too late.
There's the mark in me upset.
Something else you could do if you really want to do it is you could also do like a four-way or a five-way, but you don't want that either.
No, I don't want.
How would you feel if they did the one-on-one match, which is Roman and Punk on night 2, and then night 1 was a four-way or something like that? Like it's not the best.
Neither of them are main event quality matches to me.
No, that's the problem. I'm with you on that. That's exactly my problem. Is that they're not this WrestleMania feels like, and that was going back to your question at the beginning of the show.
Look at this guy, bro. Junior RDZ. Now he's been a long time fan. He asked this question.
Hold on. Do you want me to go to his question now?
Yes.
And so you don't have anything to say about Demolition?
Oh yeah, I do.
I'm just saying it's about time. Yeah, I was going to get to the last two super chats, but you said you wanted to answer this one.
I'm gonna bury this.
All I'm saying is it's
RTZ,
about
bro,
time
because the name of our fucking tag team is right here. Like, you want me to spoon feed it to you? God damn it, bro. Anyways.
Yeah, just imagine Junior's okay, but just
time, bro?
I took the words out of my mouth. Look, Junior's actually not so bad. Just imagine.
He does want to call us the Double D's, but
well, but there's already the Double D's, bro. Dan Severn and Don Fry's podcast is called the Double D's, motherfucker. There already is a Double D. But listen to me. Can you imagine dealing with questions even worse than this for 11 years?
Well, I don't, and I don't want to.
I got a question the other day. I wrote this thing about Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods, and I wrote it on social media. And this guy goes, and it's about the credits. Now, you know when a movie ends, there's credits that go down and up on the screen, right? Everybody knows this. I show a picture of the credits, and I make a comment on. The guy goes, "Are you talking about the movie or the anime?" I go, "I'm gonna let you figure that one out, bro."
Well, hopefully nobody come and ask a Dragon Ball question here on this show.
Well, I'm sure. Well, they have, and I buried them for it. But okay, what do you think about Demolition? Then we'll move on to the other two questions.
No, I think for a WWF kayfabe land, right? Demolition is not a Hall of Fame team, but for their Hall of Fame, dude, they needed to be in like years ago.
That was their big late '80s team.
Yeah, so let me tell the people what happened. Okay, let me tell, because I'm sure you know, but some of our listeners don't. So what happened is that Bill Eadie sued Vince McMahon in the early '90s because Bill Eadie came up with the idea of Demolition. He brought it to Vince. Vince said okay, and then when Bill Eadie was let go in late '90, not only did he not gel his hair up in his last show ever, which always fucked with me as a kid, but also he ended up, he wanted to take the name with him. And Vince is like, no, it's my name. So he sued him, and Bill Eadie won. And so he became there was Detroit Demolition, and there was other tag teams. So after that, Vince had a grudge, and he never wanted to put those guys into the Hall of Fame. So that's the reason why they weren't in. Barry Darsow came from the Mid-Atlantic, so he got
there was a different guy. I think
it was Moondog Rex.
One of the yeah, that's right. That was the original Smash.
And so
there's footage out there of it too.
Yeah, it's like a match on YouTube. It's out there. So what happened with Moondog Rex is that when he came out as Smash, he started getting catcalls of Moondog Rex, and then Vinny's like, this ain't gonna work because they know it's Moondog Rex. And that was a different time where if you had a new gimmick, like your past didn't count anymore. So he couldn't allow it.
And exactly. And that's the thing too, is they when the marks are onto something, they just switched it out. And Barry Darsow had been the evil Russian in the Crusher Khrushchev and other territories. But what pops me is after Demolition ended around 91 after the lawsuit, both those guys were repackaged as completely new wrestlers. First there was Crush, who went from being Crush of Demolition to Crush from Hawaii. Kona Crush, squeezing. Yeah, and it was the same name though. And then but with Smash, he became Repo Man, cut his hair, put the freaking Frank Gorshin Riddler mask on.
He was essentially the Frank Gorshin's Riddler. That's what he was.
And he would steal things from people, bro. That was his gimmick.
Bro, what was his catchphrase, bro? Well, what was mine is mine, and was yours is also
yours is mine. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Repo Man.
What happened to the business, bro?
And that was 92.
Yeah, and then he had the vignettes. Remember, in our last episode, we were talking about vignettes. He had the vignettes where he was breaking into people's cars and taking them and stuff.
That's right. That's right. So I'm happy for the Demolition, bro, because
they deserve it. And you know what makes me happy too is that they're both still alive to receive the award or whatever.
Agreed, bro. Because Vader and Sid got fucked out of that.
Their $3,000 payoff and their ring. Hopefully they don't sell their ring. So yeah, I'm happy for them. And we're gonna get to hear the song, bro. WrestleMania weekend, we're gonna get to hear the song.
Dun, 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 dun,
Let me ask you something, because you were a little younger than me, but I was around 11
Here
when
comes the axe.
I saw the switch over to the Repo Man and Crush. Crush was weird, bro, because my snot-nosed little kid brain knew that was Demolition Crush. You could tell.
Yeah, well, they called him Crush.
Yeah, but it could have been I don't know, because remember, he took about a year break. He left in 91 and he came back as Crush in 92.
Yeah,
remember
92.
Bro, Vinny was so tight during this time because they were in the dark ages. He didn't actually it was so stupid. He didn't actually fly him out to Hawaii. Remember they had a green screen of Hawaii?
Something like that. Yeah, something like that.
Bro, they had a green screen.
In the 80s, they would have actually shot it in Hawaii or Miami, but no, now
it would have been Miami. They would have said it's Hawaii.
Right when they same place where they shot the Razor Ramon vignettes, right, bro. Chicas are for fun.
At the Carlito. But the thing is, with this one, it was Kona Crush from a green screen in Hawaii. That was dumb, bro. And also, he tried to make an accent that wasn't working for him. But I will say, the Repo Man, my brain really overloaded because I knew that guy. I knew him, but I couldn't. Like, my brain didn't know how to connect them to Smash. You know.
What about Crusher Khrushchev? Did you connect him to Crusher Khrushchev?
No, not at all. Not because he had let his hair grow out. Remember, he had
the voice, bro. He wasn't. I don't know if he was as good as the Koloffs, but when he did his Russian accent, like, it was still convincing enough, bro.
And I have another one too before we move on from
Hole-in-One Barry Darsow.
That's no. Did it ever fuck with you, bro? Because it stayed with me for years, and it wasn't until like I found other people on the internet that Axe's last night in the territory, Survivor Series 90.
When it was all three of them.
He doesn't gel up his hair. Did that fuck with you, bro? Because I was like,
I never even thought of that. I never even thought of it, bro. That's your ND brain, bros. What the heck,
bro? But you remember, right? It was a different haircut. It was weird,
a different haircut.
It was fluffy. And he didn't give a fuck.
It was very Hebrewish. Is that what you're saying? like Steve Gutenberg.
Jimmy Howby pinned him in 3 minutes, got his payday, and then he went to Global, bro. And in Global, he tripped me out one last time because that wasn't even his real voice, bro. The Axe voice wasn't his real voice. He's actually a very soft-spoken man, bro.
Yes, he's very soft-spoken. I learned that from the Sean Oliver shoot interviews.
Well, not the Jamie Dundee one, bro. We know he's not soft-spoken.
He's not soft-spoken, bro. Yeah, I tamed 2 400-pounders with a 4-inch dick. That's what he said. All right, B. Jordan says, is Danhausen more alpha for making it to WWE or beta for his gimmick? So I do.
He's more alpha for being CM Punk's friend. How about that? I'll leave it at that.
I will say this: he is genuinely funny, but they're already going down the R-Truth route. On Raw, he's calling Adam Pearce, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Same thing about how R-Truth would call Tommaso Ciampa. He'd call him Triple H. They're doing the same thing. I do think Danhausen is funny, but I wonder how long that gimmick is going to work in WWE. When he came out, though, bro, at the Elimination Chamber, the first thing I thought of was, and I hate to say this, but this is just how we've been conditioned by WWE going back to the F years. This guy's way too small. Like, even a small guy in WWE is bigger than Danhausen. So I'm like, is this guy actually going to wrestle matches? Like, and it's not that he's just small in height. He's a very skinny, scrawny guy. Like, he's a cartoon character. Now, I respect him in the sense of getting his gimmick over to where he was making real money on the indies with merch, because the young Buckaroos did that. Colt Cabana did that for a while. I respect that. But I'm not going to lie to you. I was surprised because I knew how small he was. He's the guy who you look at him, you think, okay, this is going to be an indie guy forever. And he made it to the big league, bro. What do you think?
I wonder how long, because Dave broke the story that it was Danhausen the week that remember when the box angle went from being like a serious thing to like a comedy thing where like Johnny Garganas was depressed, he was on top of the box asleep. Like, there was a point in the buildup where it went from being a serious thing to like a comedy thing, and that's when like Dave said like that's Danhausen. They brought him in because he's CM Punk's boy.
It just seems so unrealistic just because of the fact that he's such a small guy, even though he is CM Punk's boy.
And they don't even have house. Remember, you could use him for the house shows to get the crowd going. You know, that first match, like the Godfather. There's always those cold guys, right, that get over for the first match.
Bad luck fail.
Well, he's not a cold. He's like a comedy guy, bro.
Yeah,
like
bad luck fail. Yeah.
Well, he has a hot girlfriend though. I hope they're still together. But so anyways, so I don't know why how you use this guy. They don't have house shows anymore for him to get the crowd going. Like,
you know what pops me, bro? Remember that when you found out that Wardlow's real last name was Wardlow, and you were like, "That's his real last name." Remember that?
Yeah.
This guy's
what was more of the crazy with that or Mark Sinclair, bro?
No, Mark Sinclair, but that always pops you. What about Lewis?
Us, bro. It pops
what about Lewis Upchurch, bro? Lou Diamond.
No, that one really popped me.
Okay, now this man's real name is Donovan Danhausen, bro. That's his real name.
Danhausen is cool. Like, it's a real last name.
No, I know it is, but it's wacky because I thought it was Dan space Hausen. No, it's like my name, Dan. No, it's Donovan Danhausen.
As long as it's not Donovan Morgan from Pro Wrestling Iron, bro. Man, that's a deep cut even for you.
Mike, no, I know who that is. Mike Modest Boy, Donovan Morgan. So now we got the juniors question. If you guys were tag team, what would your name be?
I'm not gonna dignify that with a response.
Does it come with a cup of soup? He did pop me at the end with the cup of soup thing. This is what our name would be, bro. Are you surprised right now?
What it has been, not what it would be, what it has been.
Are you surprised that they haven't put Phoenix and Penta together yet? I knew they would eventually, but I thought it'd be within a year, but they're still separate.
No, because they're so far from each other in the pecking order. Like, Penta's a top guy and Phoenix is a jobber. So right now it doesn't make sense to do it.
Oh, there you are. I thought you cut off for a minute. No, I think they're gonna eventually do it and have it be a big angle, like, oh, these guys, you know, they're brothers, you know, whatever. But I'm just saying, you know, it is surprising. Now, Danhausen's curse worked last night because after a year, bro, DM, not Dave Meltzer, bro. Dominic Mysterio dropped the IC title to Penta, bro, and it was because of the curse. Are we finally getting Finn Balor?
I hope so, bro, because that fucking buildup has gone too long.
Yeah, it feels a lot like the Sasha and Bailey angle that they teased for 2 years and didn't pull the trigger on.
Let's go through the trajectory of this, brother, really quick, because this is interesting. So because the Judgment Day itself is cursed, right? That's the gimmick, that they're family, but they're not. So it started off with Edge. Then he recruited Damian Priest was the first one, right?
I thought it was Rhea Ripley, then Damian Priest.
Okay, yeah, you're right. It was Rhea. No, it was Damian and then Rhea.
Okay. That's fine.
And then Finn Balor, 4.
Yes, 4. That's it. Yeah.
And then they turned on Edge, and he never got a blow off because they put the AEW
sticker
on his.
He did get.
Oh, he did. I was there.
In the Hell in a Cell. Yeah.
Yeah, the demon. All right. So then they kicked Edge out. So Edge is gone, right? The guy that started it. Then they bring in Dominic at the Castle show. What's the name of the Castle show?
Clash of the Castle.
Clash of the Castle.
That's when he turned on his daddy.
That's right. So then let me think.
No, then they brought in Liv as the
No, they turned on Damien. Then Liv came.
Yeah. Liv came after that, and then they started the love triangle angle.
All right, now we got 2 guys gone because of betrayal. I'm keeping track here. Edge and Damien gone. Right.
This is like the NWO almost.
Then they turn on Rhea because Liv ends up fucking Dom or whatever. So they turn on Rhea. So
the original 3 members are gone.
So then Finn brings JD because that's his boy from back in the day.
Jordan Devlin, bro. That's what is
right. And with the big ass head. And then because Carlito turns on Ray Jr. because Carlito was originally in the LWO, and then Carlito ends up joining the Judgment Day because Ray Jr. was feuding with Dom. Okay. So then Carlito gets let go, so he just vanishes.
Well, he got speared by Braun Breaker, and that was the last time we saw him.
That's right, bro.
And that
More
awesome
than once,
flying
actually.
spear.
And then now it seems like they're gonna build up. No, and then how does Raquel join? How the fuck does she
wasn't
join?
that Finn? Didn't Finn Balor bring her in?
No, Finn Balor brought Roxanne.
No, I'm thinking of Roxanne. You're right.
Because Finn was like, we need a.
I think Raquel was brought in because Liv wanted a bodyguard for Rhea. She was like remember she wanted somebody who was bigger to protect her.
Yeah, that's right. She had the Diesel gimmick, which is what she's doing now.
Yeah, right.
All right, and then Roxanne was brought in because Finn said she needed. Oh, well, the reason why they kind of dropped this, but this is pretty deep in the overall feud of this. The reason why Finn brought Roxanne was because he wanted to stir dissension with Liv and Dominic. Remember that?
That was the original idea.
Yeah. And so he brought Roxanne in order for her to eventually fuck Dominic and fuck over Liv.
Right.
So anyway, so here we are after all these. We went through the entire all these years later, and it seems like finally the mega powers will explode with Finn and Dominic.
So you think now is the time then?
I think so, yeah, but it's gonna be non-title now. That's weird. I mean, I guess the feud is big enough to where it doesn't need a title. Originally I thought it was gonna be for the title, but now it looks like it's gonna be.
I thought Finn would get the
probably a gimmick match at WrestleMania, or it'll be like phase one of spring feud.
Yeah. I mean, they haven't done the official breakup, but I think it's about time, bro. I think we've been dragging. The Judgment Day has not been the same, because if you remember when this era was really starting to boom out, you had SmackDown with the Bloodline and Raw with the Judgment Day, and they had this soap opera storyline where you've got the Sammy thing going on. Meanwhile, you've got the Rhea Liv thing going on. You've got Damian Priest feuding with them for a little bit. So you've got like this a lot of players, and they were positioned in smart positions. Like, they did a great job back then. Judgment Day has not been the same since, bro. Like, probably since Priest and Rhea left, it has not been the same. So I think it is time to kind of end this whole thing, you know?
Yeah, but do you think that once they drop Finn, they're gonna keep the Judgment Day going? Because
I think they should be over, bro. I think that's it. End it. Like, I think they should all go on and do their own thing.
Because you're still gonna have Dom, Liv, Roxanne, and Raquel.
Well, you could still have them having their own little story, right? But I don't think that they should keep the stable going that much longer, bro. Like, maybe a little bit, but I think that needs to get blown off.
Let me tell you something, bro. This gets me. I'm on a fantasy book right now, but it sucks because this is not gonna happen. They're not this good. So one of the cool things about this angle, it's the underneath portion of it, right? The below the surface stuff, is that Dominic has always respected Finn as the leader, as the veteran. Like, if you ever notice in their heated exchanges, like, Dominic always bows down as a sign of respect. I like that little part of it. What about if it turns out that JD plays the Jim Neidhart, bro, and he gets in Dominic's ear to turn on Finn, bro, and then, like, they have the big breakup on Raw, right, where Dominic, like, you know, Dominic's like a clumsy heel, so he's gonna try to turn on Finn, and then Finn turns in the right moment, right? And he catches on with the chair or whatever. You know that whole deal. And then
do you think that Finn's the one going heel?
No, I think Finn's babyface.
Okay.
No, what I'm trying to tell you is that JD, because remember, JD and Finn are boys going all the way back. They're like brothers. So when Dominic finally is gonna turn on Finn, he does that whole chair thing, right? And then Finn turns around and catches him. And then Dominic's like all bug-eyed. Oh, no, sorry. And then from behind, like, JD comes on and gives Finn a low blow. And it was Finn. I mean, it was JD the mastermind behind all this.
Mastermind. You know? But why? Why would he want to do that?
Well, I stopped. I'm not a writer for them. That's their job. I set them on their way. Fuck it.
You got to give them motivation, bro. Well, you don't have to.
Well, they could do the whole, brother. They could do the whole generic, non-original. I've been in your shadow, and I'm tired of it.
That's the Owen feud. That's the Owen feud. But the Owen feud actually made way more sense. We love that feud because
I love it.
Because it was very based in reality. Brett was always the top guy in the family, bro. Other than Stu, of course, who Brett calls Stu. Not us,
Brett. The entire family, bro.
Stu, bro.
Bro, did I Mandela affect myself? Did Brett once tell Steve Austin to punch him in the face?
No, I don't think so. I don't know. What happened was Pat Patterson went into a trance and hit wrestling with shadows, and then that's when Brett says something to the effect of, yeah, he can disrespect Stu, maybe he'll even grab Stu. And then Owen from behind. Yeah, then all the brothers jump in.
Yeah, they all
right.
Stu.
David Green, hot take, but I think Rhea and Io should remain a tag team and become this generation's DX equivalent. They're not going to be a DX equivalent, bro.
How are they DX now?
They're not. I don't understand when people make these comparisons, bro. It's like when people said that Daniel Bryan was more over than Austin, and you and I were like, bro, remember that era, bro?
Yeah.
Oh, Daniel Bryan's the new Steve Austin.
But that kind of goes with the whole LA Knight argument from earlier, but whatever.
Well, I mean, but it's not the same thing. I don't see Rhea and Io being anywhere close to DX. They're not even.
But why? Like,
because they're a tag team. Like, they're already a tag team now, but they're not. What I'm not understanding is what he means by this generation's DX equivalent. What do they have in common with DX, bro? Like, tell me what they have in common with. No, I want an answer, David Green.
Don't bury them yet, bro. Don't bury them yet.
With DX. No, I want to know. What and if you say they're two people, bro, I'm not gonna ban you because I'm not that bad. I'm not gonna treat you like that because you are generously donating. But bro, I want to know.
Did DX have anybody from World of Stardom?
That'd be awesome, but not just the China could have taken over Stardom.
Bro, was Akira Hokuto part of DX at one time?
No, she was in the other territory. She was down south with Kensuke Sasaki, bro.
I don't understand. Okay, please, David Green. Is that his name?
What do they have in common with DX, bro?
Please, we're gonna give you a chance to answer. We're giving you the mic right now, so please answer.
Okay, y'all.
Because as it looks right now, it's a dumb comparison.
All right, this is from somebody who's new, obviously. Y'all cover AEW, strictly WWE show. It's a wrestling show, bro. It's not about either company. It's a wrestling show. Wrestling.
But I like all wrestling, unlike my co-host.
Okay, so his response is, I don't know. I thought they were pretty over, and to be honest, they're the only real draw in the Roman and Punk.
That doesn't answer the question.
Hold on, you're not answering the question. What do Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley What do Rhea Ripley and Io Shirai have in common with D-Generation X?
Did anybody, brother? Maybe one of the persons from DX was fucking evil, bro. Like not fucking evil, fucking the person evil.
Yeah, having sex with Evil from New Japan. Where's he at, bro?
I thought he was gonna come out of the box.
I thought he was gonna come out of the box too, bro. Because Dan, he kind of fits with Danhausen,
Bro, but they're not gonna call him Evil, right?
They can't. They're gonna make up a new name, probably like Hideo Itami, bro, some Japanese name.
But even Evil was whack even for New Japan. That name.
He always had a wacky name, bro. Remember, Evil and Sonata was the name of that team, bro. Evil and Sonata.
Cody is the man wants you to ban this fool, but no, don't ban him. Don't ban him.
I'm not banning anybody right now.
But I mean,
I didn't mean DX in terms of gimmick, but in terms of crowd reactions as an act. Brother,
why DX though? There was a lot of people getting crowd reactions during that time. That DX
not just that, but what I'm not understanding is Rhea Ripley always gets a big pop, right? Yes. But DX was different, I would say, in the sense of like the whole group was over. Rhea Ripley is more like over on her own. I don't think Io Sky gets anywhere near as many big pops as
even Jason Sensation was over, bro. He was part of DX. I don't care what
like an influence. Okay, but you're not making any sense, bro. What you're basically you're not making any sense, bro. With respect, you're saying that Rhea Ripley and Io Sky are like this generation's DX.
Why not the Nation of Domination? Why not?
Why not Demolition? Like you haven't.
Why not Demolition?
What do they have in common with DX? The characters are nothing anywhere like DX, bro. They're two serious, like athletic women. DX was a couple of guys who were great wrestlers, but were always clowning on people and making fun of them. And they have nothing in common with DX. Well, Brett thinks both of them were. Should we play that clip again, bro?
No.
We are not going to ban this guy, all right? We're not going to ban him.
Man, this guy speaking of DX, bro, this guy needs to be D'Lo Brown, bro. We're going to call him D'Lo Brown with the propeller hat.
Not Mizark Henry.
My name's D'Lo. My name's D'Lo.
Brother, okay, listen, with respect, bro, I don't give a shit if you want him banned or not. This is my show, and I decide whether or not people get banned. With respect. You don't have any...
Yeah, but Cody's making assumptions. Who is we? Does he have a mouse in his pocket?
Well, I think because him and Orange Fanboy, who were just feuding in the chat like 5 minutes ago, are now, just like in wrestling, bro, they're now teaming up to try to get freaking David Green banned when both Cody and Orange Fanboy are way more annoying than that David Green guy. But I'm going to give you a break, bro. I'm going to give all y'all a break. No one's getting banned for that, bro. You're not going to get banned
deal
for
with
that.
This shit all the time, bro.
I got to deal with 11 years, bro. 11 years of this. And this is the wrestling crowd. This is not even the Dragon Ball crowd. So, all right.
I want some of the old KLB guys to come on here, bro. That way they flood these people out. Shit.
Well, I don't know where they're at, but the what I wanted to say, right? Enough of y'all trying to get somebody banned. Nobody's getting banned right now.
All right, well then just keep on going, bro. Don't bring that up anymore.
Okay, I could see Rhea as an act potentially being inducted into the future Hall of Fame separate from Rhea and Io individually. I could too, bro. We all could.
In the Hall of Fame, literally everybody gets inducted. So nothing's
yeah, she's a main eventer. She's gonna get inducted. But once again, what does Rhea Ripley have in common with Shawn Michael Hickenbottom and Hunter Hearst Helmsley?
Or the other Shawn Michaels.
Well, she has more in common with him than fucking the Booker of NXT. But the point is, what do they have in common, bro? You still haven't fucking answered that question. All right,
let me answer this because this goes back to our Road to WrestleMania conversation. It would have been a disservice. Okay, this is where you got to put your little Booker hat on. It would have been a disservice to have Rhea Ripley stuck in that tag team because she's the most over woman on the roster. And what did I say earlier with LA Knight? You want to put the tippy top people together in a one-on-one match at WrestleMania because that's what draws money. She was almost being buried being in that tag team. And to be honest with you,
I think it was just something for her to do.
It was something for her to do to kill time till we get to WrestleMania. But guess what? The real Rhea Ripley tag team was temporary. It was never meant to go too long.
Right.
And now they're gonna. They literally had I like the breakup they had on Raw because it wasn't like a turn. It was just like you go your way, I go my way. We good.
And also, let me ask you this: when they dropped the titles on SmackDown, did you think that was like, okay, Rhea's winning the chamber? Like, did you think, okay, we know what they're doing?
Rhea was winning a while back because it's Rhea. Like, who else was gonna win in that match, bro?
Well, I mean, I thought it was going to be because I had heard Tiffany Stratton was going to go against Jade Cargill, but I was like, they can't really do that yet because that's who she lost to.
Yeah, and they just did it over the summer. They just did that. And to me, once I saw Charlotte wasn't in the match, I was like, it's Rhea. It has to be Rhea.
Okay, well, this is the last time we're going to address this, bro. Character A, big giant person with iconic finish, and character B, slim athletic in-ring magician. Okay, once again, for the third time now, what does this have to do with Triple H and Shawn Michaels? I don't think Triple H qualifies as being a big giant person with an iconic finish because you want to know something? Half the roster is a big giant person with an iconic finish.
If it was Kane or The Undertaker, yeah, not Triple H.
Well, exactly.
Especially during this era before he got really juiced up.
Slim, athletic, in-ring magician. So that's supposed to be Shawn Michaels. So is Rhea Shawn Michaels or is she? Are you saying that Rhea's not an in-ring magician? Bro, okay, I'm just going to break it down since I'm being nice to you. Your comparison sucks. Is what that's basically what we're trying to say in a nice way. Your comparison doesn't work. Io Sky and Rhea Ripley have nothing in common with DX, bro. That's it. So let me ask you this. You were not a fan of Chamber. Do you want to talk about that? Because I didn't like the show either.
I thought there was a lot of things that really upset me. I thought, first of all, I don't like the way WWE is getting so patterned now, like really patterned. And it's funny because when you have the WWE bots, you know, the WWE bootlickers, as I call them, they'll defend it to the end, right? It's like, oh, it's like they don't understand what an art is, what an art form really is about. They don't understand.
It's what we do, man. It's the
They
magic.
don't understand how to enjoy a match from New Japan, or how to enjoy.
How we make our magic.
No,
go ahead.
Stupid, bro. Don't remind me about that dumb shit. Everything about WWE, it's overly produced, it's over choreographed, it's safe as all hell, it's so basic, generic, every name you could use, to the point where now there is more of a division line between I'm just talking in ring now, between AEW and WWE. You know, AEW gives you real matches, like you're actually, it's not pattern. I'll give you 2 examples. Okay, 2 quick examples.
But there are a lot of good wrestling matches on all the shows every week. Like wrestling is like that.
WWE has been kind of weird. Okay, Royal Rumble, we talked about it. How fucking stupid do you have to be that the buzzer has to like distract you, and that you see that all the time now? It doesn't make fucking sense. If you saw it once to push an angle, fine, right? Let's say you had the 2 big hosses, Uba Femi and like the Brock Lesnar spot. All right, they get distracted. Fine. But you see that all the fucking time. Like the buzzer. Are these people dumb, bro? Like are they athletes or are they dumb?
Yeah.
2.
I agree with you.
2. Royal Rumbles have become this thing where I talk about it in the Royal Rumble show. Every new person that comes in gets 2 minutes of high spots. And they go to the back of the line, and then they become a punching bag. Watch, rinse, repeat, over and over. We need Pat Patterson, bro. We need him. We need to seance him from the grave.
Yeah, get a Ouija board out for that.
We need Vampiro Canadiense to help us out with this, bro. Now the Elimination Chamber. They have a new one, bro.
I was about to ask you if Vampiro is going to book.
They have a new one, bro. I don't know if you caught this. Is so annoying, bro. God, I hate WWE for their overproduction, bro. In the Elimination Chamber now, every single motherfucking person has to go pod by pod taunting the other person before they go into their pod, bro. Like that's something they introduced.
That was something they did a couple times back in the day, but not every person.
Every person did it in this show. Every single one. And so you're standing there, bro, and you're like, what the fuck? Like this is all entrances. Javon Evans, right? The guy that's going to go undefeated at WrestleMania going forward for the next 25 years. I timed it. He was doing his stupid shtick for 7 minutes, bro, from the time he started. The entrances
are so long now with that.
Right. And I have a theory. Because Triple H is a lazy motherfucker, and he only likes to give us 4 matches per PLE.
Bruce Richard agrees.
He's got to run the clock down, right? He's got to run the clock because you can't have a show in an hour and 30 minutes. So he's got all these long, boring entrances, same old shtick, over and over. It's almost like they're coming out of a fucking, like an assembly line, bro. It's an assembly line of wrestlers, you know? Same shit, bro.
What was something that this reminded me of in terms of you? Remember how a few months ago we were discussing how, actually maybe last month, about how cage matches are no longer really what they used to be because they always have interference. Well, What I find funny is that's gone. So we had the cage match, and then cage matches started having interference. So then we have Hell in a Cell, which has a roof on it, and that's supposed to prevent interfering from people coming in from the top to the bottom over the top rope. But even in the first Hell in a Cell, we had interference because Kane broke the door down. But that's okay because that was a special circumstance to introduce a new character that was built up for 8 months and was going to headline with The Undertaker. So that interference, I think, is acceptable. But now we have interference in Hell in a Cell every show. Elimination Chamber is yet another variation on the cage match. You can say it's not, but the Chamber, I'm not saying it's exactly the same as the cage match, but it's another variation. And yet every year we have a chamber that has at least one person interfering, either the women's or the men's. It was Jade Cargill last year. This year it was Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins. So once again, even the chamber being, these 6 men are confined in glass, even that now has interference no matter what. So every match can have interference. And that's what, not to go into AEW, but it's very silly when AEW says no interference in this match when every match is supposed to have no interference. In the Continental Classic match, there's no interference, but every match is a DQ if you interfere. So
but the reason why they do that, bro, it's working on another level. The reason why they do it, I agree with you. It's dumb. Let's put
wrestling.
That out there. But here's why they do that.
Forgetting what it was. Mm-hmm.
But here's why Tony Khan has to do that, because he has to go at a deeper level and tell you, because the wrestling business has disrespected the run-ins and all that. I'm telling you,
and AEW has run-ins a lot too.
They have run-ins all the time. The cage match is there for run-ins, which is stupid on all companies. But here's the deal. Because Tony Khan wants a clean tournament, he has to tell you that because he knows the history of wrestling. So he's essentially doing it not because he wants to, but because he has to. He's telling you, look, this is gonna be a tournament with all clean finishes. Now, kayfabe wise, he can't do that because it'll be weird. But because of the way wrestling is, to no fault of him, he has to do it. Does that make sense? Like he has to announce that it's gonna be no run-ins because of the history of professional wrestling, not because it's like. It's
very meta in a way.
But,
right?
But what else could he do? Like, how else could he promote that it's going to be a tournament with no run-ins?
There is a way to like switch it up a little bit. Okay, instead of saying no run-ins, he could say we'll be, officials will be watching on the monitors, because the thing about run-ins, and this is another problem with wrestling, and this is not AEW's fault. This has been going on for decades. Is run-ins have been going on for decades, right? Heels have been coming in, laying out other baby faces behind the referee's back. The idea is the whole crowd and us at home, we see the run-in. The referee misses it. Tony Khan could twist that and say AEW officials will be watching the match, and if anybody runs in during this match, if we see anybody at ringside that getting involved through any of our cameras, they're going to be fined $500,000. There's ways to do it like that, to where you're still keeping kayfabe and you're still kind of telling the audience no run-ins. That's just but I'm a genius, bro. What do you expect? Do y'all think comparisons of WWE to McDonald's are valid? Well, Draven compares Hollywood to McDonald's, so maybe there's similarities. Because I feel like there's some truth to these comparisons that could be wrong. Brother, let me tell you what the truth of these comparisons are. The fact that a Big Mac is now like $9, WWE ain't the only company that's price gouging. Let me give y'all a little fast food tip, all right, from a former fat man. McDonald's charges $9 for a Big Mac. Chili's, which has better quality meat, a bigger actual burger with better fries, better ingredients, $9.99 for a big burger with a big side of fries. So are you going to pay $10 for one Big Mac, or you're going to pay, and that's a double, I think, at Chili's, for a big real burger with way less processed bullshit at Chili's? It's gotten to the point now where Chili's, and don't even sit there and be like, oh, well, drive-through. No, you can order on your app and pick it up on the outside. Chili's is now giving people better deals than fast food. So
yes.
Did you know that? Really, you love burgers, bro.
Yeah, but I don't like big. I haven't gone to McDonald's in years, bro.
No, you like In-N-Out, but not everybody has In-N-Out. I love In-N-Out too.
There is nothing in the McDonald's menu that I crave. Nothing.
Not even the Big Arch. That's the new one that just came out, bro.
What is that?
Arch. Basically it's like I don't eat there, but it's like a double cheeseburger, but with the
dietary challenge people, which I'm sure there's a lot listening, bro.
I'm sure there are. And so it's a double cheeseburger, but it's a different. It's like white. It's like almost like Swiss cheese with a different sauce, and the bun is different. That's
when I first met you, one of the first memories that I have of you, bro.
When you wrote the letter and then threw it away like Ryan Leaf.
No, bro. When you popped at the 59-cent cheeseburger deals, bro.
I think you're getting two stories mixed up.
Well, there was the corn dog one, which was
the corn dog one was the 49 cent. That was the one.
That was the one. And you did the Wolverine - Freddy Krueger gimmick.
Wait, what's
Well,
the Wolverine?
You put them on your fingers, bro, and they were all like that, like sticking out of your fingers, bro.
I don't think I did that, bro. I think now you're Mandela affecting. I did not.
There was 4. Maybe you're doing the 4 horsemen thing, bro, with the corn dog.
I never did that. I never ever did that, bro.
So Dragon Slayer 21/7 wants to know where I came up with the McHollywood thing. Well,
do you want to finish this and then get to that?
Yeah. Oh, well, I agree with it. Like you, there is a comparison for sure.
Yeah. All right, go for it, McHollywood.
So much like WWE right now, much like any kind of big corporate like McDonald's, right? Like you have a formula that works. Now there comes a point.
By the way, Wisco Dippers, we're gonna get to your question next. I'm sorry, bro. Go ahead.
There comes a point in every capitalistic venture where profit becomes more important than any kind of integrity in the product that you're selling. That's a fact. So everything is simplified once there's income coming into that company, and that includes movies. Movies have a formula. American, big budget, McHollywood, and by that I mean like popcorn films. They have a formula that you see, and it's like watch, rinse, repeat. It's the same thing, and you're only gonna appreciate the difference when you support independent filmmaking, when you support international filmmaking, and you start seeing that, oh shit, there's other ways to tell a story.
This is kind of like wrestling too, in some ways, because there's the WWE style, and not maybe not so much now because there are a lot of great workers in WWE, but there was a time period where, and in the mid 2000s even, where work rate and having good matches was not anywhere near the priority of WWE outside of some pay-per-views, and then you had to go to TNA, Ring of Honor, New Japan, Lucha. And the internet made it easier to find these things because there were matches all over the internet you could watch in different video platforms, or you can buy the DVDs from ivpvideo.com, bro.
Yeah, Bridge of Dreams. That you couldn't find. Nobody. I have it, but nobody could find it.
I have it, but the problem with the one I have is it's all the matches have their own file.
That's right. I remember when you found it. So, anyways, a good example of this, not the best example, but a good example so that we could connect everyone to this conversation is Gogeta -1. Okay?
I was about to say Gogeta, because Gogeta is the Dragon Ball character.
Well, Gogeta, okay. I said it with a Spanish twang. That's why it came out like that. I didn't say it like an American, like a white American.
Now, the fact that you mentioned -1 put a smile on my face. That's not going to go away for a while.
But let me say this.
Best movie of this millennium.
If it was a McHollywood movie, you know what notes the director would get?
It would basically be Godzilla X Kong. I'm sorry. The floor is yours.
So it would be Godzilla X Kong.
Okay, go ahead.
No, listen. He would get a note that said, "Godzilla is too scary. We got to think of the kids. We got to think of the toys. We cannot have these kids going out of there crying. So make sure that Godzilla's happier looking. You know? Oh, we need to have a love story where in the middle they kiss and then he loses the girl. Like all these tropes. They're tropes, right?
Yeah.
That bring the people, the general audience in.
Right.
Every fucking movie in McHollywood has the same fucking tropes. Every single one of them. All the MCU films, even though I love the early ones, have the same fucking thing. You introduce the character, you introduce the problem, which is something's the villain, and then they have a big battle at the end. Watch, rinse, repeat. Nothing. That's why Wonder Man was such a fucking refreshing. It wasn't like that. It didn't follow that trope. It was different.
Right. Very different.
And so did Andor, which you didn't like, but I loved, which is fine, you know.
I take partial responsibility because I never got to see the rest of it, and everybody said that it gets better. First couple episodes were.
But you never liked Andor the character.
I never cared about Andor the character.
You know what, bro? I'm gonna side tell. I'm gonna side.
But the Andor show supposedly gets him over. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's both seasons. But here's the thing. I'm gonna take a little detour, then we'll come right back. Which is the gimmick of this show anyway. Bro, Andor is the only show that got critically acclaimed, beautiful show, that Filoni was not involved in. Because fucking
I think you said that before.
What's his name? The guy that directed American History X, he was the showrunner for Andor. He told Filoni to fuck off, bro. Because there's a story. Filoni came to him with notes. oh, you gotta make it lighter. He's like, nah, get out. And there was the whole thing. And so Andor is the only one. My whole thing.
Tony K is the director.
Tony K, yeah, Tony K.
He's an older guy, but yeah.
He's a very creative guy. So here's the thing. Everybody that's jumping hoops and celebrating over Kathleen Kennedy leaving this Filoni guy in charge, this guy only does cartoons, bro. And we're seeing, what are we seeing
I see what you're saying.
What are we seeing with the Mandalorian and Grogu? Like, no hype whatsoever. 2 months away, folks, from that movie that 3-4 years ago would have been huge. Now, nobody cares.
That's a fair point.
And people are saying that all it is a 2-hour episode, even though Favreau said it's not. It's a real movie. So we'll see. But people that are happy over Filoni, be careful. He's not all it seems to be. He has his little weaknesses.
I mean, I would rather him than KK anyways, bro. Not King Kofi Kingston, the other KK.
No, yeah.
I would rather him over her, but I will agree with you 100% that he's got his, and I was saying this going back to the Clone Wars. He has his tropes, as you call them, and they are tropes, especially with his fucking masturbatory shit over Ahsoka, because he puts Ahsoka in everything, bro. Ahsoka, bro, is like, okay, who's the guy who you would call like a Triple H guy? A guy who Triple H always pushes, bro.
I
was going to say Gargano, but that's over now.
Well, we don't know. He's been part of he has a storyline.
He has a storyline, but he's not being pushed, bro.
I don't know. I can't think of anybody.
Well, so
it ain't Rusev. We know that.
No, we'll talk more about that in a minute. So, okay. So the point I'm trying to make is Filoni loves to book Ahsoka and everything. That's his character. The reason as to why Filoni is better suited for that.
Yeah, Louis B2 is right. Braun Breaker is an early version of Triple H's boy. That's gonna be one of.
That's fair, and we'll talk about him in just a minute because I want to get your thoughts on WrestleMania. So, okay, to wrap the Star Wars thing up, Kathleen Kennedy. The difference is that Filoni worked under George Lucas for about 7 years, and he knows the universe. He had conversations with him. And George Lucas has made a ton of mistakes too. People forget that. The hatred of the sequel trilogy has erased the hatred of George Lucas's prequel trilogy. But we lived through that shit, bro. George Lucas was disrespected for years. And the reality is the prequels never hit the heights of the original trilogy, with the exception of Revenge of the Sith. I'm in Star Wars Theories Discord server, and he is the biggest Star Wars channel on YouTube. And that's not the guy that I hate. People in that Discord think the prequels are better than the original trilogy. And I go, why? And they say Revenge of the Sith. And I go, but that's one movie. All three of the original movies, Star Wars, Empire, and Jedi, are great. Even Jedi, with its problems, is great.
I like Jedi more than the sequel trilogy.
Right. Well, hell yeah. But Revenge of the Sith was so powerful to them that they think that saved the entire prequel trilogy. And I disagree. However, I agree that Revenge of the Sith is the best prequel. It's great. But the point is, George Lucas, after the sequel trilogy, botched it worse than he would have. There you go. So, anyways, that's kind of where we stand with that.
The only one that's unwatchable to me from the sequel trilogy is Attack of the Clones. Like that one, even though it has Jango Fett, was one of my favorite characters. But you like his. The acting's horrendous. But the other two are not. Yeah, but the other two are not bad. And I've never. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I used to be I used to be a Phantom Menace hater. I used to be that guy. But as the years have gone on, I appreciate it more. I've always been a Revenge of the Sith apologist. Even since 2005 when I saw it for the first time. Now, I wish it was there's still a lot of plot holes there. Yes, but it's a good movie. Especially when Filoni did that whole companion. By the way, I think WWE is called growing up, buddy. It's called growing up. People grow up.
Hold on, you're cutting out. You're cutting out. Hold on. Did anybody else see him cutting out? You were cutting out there for a minute to where some of your words were like right now you're blurry. I don't know if it's your internet connection. Can anybody else confirm, or is it both of us? No, I mean, but you're blurry. Okay, I think you're fine now. All right, we'll get to I Hate WWE in a minute. Let me get Wisco Dippers. We skipped his, and I didn't mean to do that. What's your favorite Undertaker era? Was it New Generation, Ruthless Aggression, Attitude, or PG? I think Draven's is Booger Red.
You know my answer.
Booger Red? Is it Booger Red?
I like that one, bro. Was the bitch worth it?
You love that line, bro. I love that line. So Booger Red is your favorite era?
Yes. You remember the unofficial Booger Red debut, right? It was against Rob Van Dam at Armageddon 2001, I think. Where he came out with the new haircut. That was it.
I remember when he cut his hair. Yeah. Obviously, he started hitting Rick with the pipe.
Yeah. So, and then also that's when we had the Maven spot, which is classic.
That was, yeah. And when he beat up David Flair in OVW or whatever. I think it was
That's
OVW.
That's right.
So, okay. So, I don't know about
what's your favorite era?
I gotta probably like as a mark, probably the 04 run from when he came back and he had that hybrid style where he was having great matches all the time, like starting with the Randy Orton WrestleMania. Every WrestleMania match he had was good to classic. So I think that's my favorite era.
That was from WrestleMania 20 to WrestleMania 21.
Well, that's when he got repackaged. Yeah, well, he got repackaged. Yeah, I agree with you. But that was the beginning of the repackaging. That went into 05, 06.
His feud with the Dudleys sucked, bro. Remember, he feuded with the Dudleys.
We covered it.
He feuded with Heidenreich.
We covered it.
That 2004 period, he was horrible, bro.
Yeah, we covered that, but that's not the point. The point is that that's when he got repackaged, because prior to that, he was still the American Badass for about 4 years.
What about when he was a devil worshiper, bro? When he was doing the Charles Lee Ray gimmick, bro, with the voodoo.
Yeah, bro. He was crucifying people. It's not a cross. It's an Undertaker symbol. It's not a cross. Bro. It's not religious. It's an Undertaker symbol.
When Percy had the Leatherface mantle on, bro, who Bray Wyatt later on too.
When he was gonna embalm Steve Austin, bro, and then Kane saved him.
And they're having like a casual conversation in the embalming room.
Bro, let me ask you a question. For just the year 98, where would you put Percy at when it comes to being an MVP of those Raws, bro? He's got to be up there. 97 and 98, bro. Really? Above Vinny?
Yes. If you're gonna give me a choice, and that's saying a lot because Vinny was.
I don't know, bro, because Vinny had that awesome segment where he's like, he told Taker and Kane, "You didn't live up to your end of the bargain. I'm not gonna live up to mine." And his voice changed, and then they turn around and he does the fucking. Then they catch him, bro, and they break his leg. That's a fucking hilarious segment, bro. Or what about when Vinny? Remember when he was in the wheelchair and Jim Cornette walked by him and he goes, "I don't give a damn about your NWA wrestling crap."
Yeah, of course, bro. No, but Percy had the inflections. He had a lot of stuff, bro. That was beyond just what he was saying.
Mark Morrow was another one that was beloved in that time period.
There was a lot of it. What about the Taker? What about that Taker that levitated at Royal Rumble '93, bro?
Marty Jannetty, allegedly,
yes,
and then Dave years later was like, "I think it was him. I don't know. It might have been." Dave's got to be careful, bro.
That was a. Why?
Because people are nowadays. People are everything he says is going to get scrutinized. Everything he says. So, if you wrote in the Observer in '94 that it was Marty Jannetty, and then years later you're like, "Well, I'm not sure," that can get scrutinized now by the Eric Bischoffs and guys like that. What I'm saying is the internet has put a bigger magnifying glass on him than prior to the internet. That's all I'm saying.
Go to the I hate them because I'm gonna give him. I'm not gonna bury him, bro. I'm gonna give him a good answer to his question.
No, and actually, there's a lot that he doesn't know. He says, "What happened to you guys back in the day? You say whatever you wanted. Now it feels kind of PG. Did something change, or are you playing it safe?" I don't think this show's
First of all,
PG
we're
at
not
all,
PG.
bro.
No, now here's the thing: are we not as crazy as we were back then? I would say, yeah, that's true. But if we live in a different world, like you cannot be who we were for a couple of reasons. First of all, the world's different, right? And we're different. Like the things that I used to get off on back then, I don't get off on now, and that's okay. I think there's this concept that, especially with men, I don't see it so much with women, but men have this idea, like this bro attitude, where you're supposed to stay the same. You know what I'm saying? Like you're supposed to just be this person that stays the same for the rest of your life, and then when you kind of change a little bit, all of a sudden it's like, well, what the fuck? What happened? Well, then you grew up. That's what happens.
But everybody changes. If you're the same person now you were 10 years ago, you haven't grown. That's bad.
Right, exactly. And here's the thing. It would be very easy for us to just recycle the same jokes, and we don't do that. Like they'll come out spontaneously, but we're not sitting here and talking about post-8. We haven't used post-87s in a cool minute, even though there's a lot of them on here. Most of them. But yeah, no, I mean we're in different places, but that's a good thing. You want to evolve. You want to break from that shell. You don't need it anymore. You need a bigger shell, and then a bigger and a bigger one. That's what life's about. You don't want to stay in the same way of life, you know, especially the way you see life. So, but we're not. But also, this guy's being all black or all white because we're also not PG. So don't bury us like that either. We're pretty out there still. It's just not like before.
I mean, I don't even know.
Another thing too, the product hasn't. But I also feel the product itself doesn't open itself for us to be as like we used to be. Like we used to, you know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of variables here. You can't just make an assumption that we're like, oh, just PG or whatever, because we're not. Look,
well, I mean,
Slick and Mean agrees.
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, you see, okay, Lewis said you've been cutting out. I don't know what's up with the internet, but it's because you were kind of blurry there. But I heard what you said. I mean, I don't know. I don't think we're PG at all. I actually don't feel that way at all. I don't know. Like, what exactly do you want? Like, I don't know.
Does he want us to call Nia Jax fat again? Like, we've already called her fat in the past. Like,
right, and we still
I don't understand that.
I don't know, man. We had a show.
And she's not big, and she's not like huge anymore. Nia Jax has actually lost a lot of weight, to her credit.
We had a show a couple weeks ago where I think that we did kind of get real heavy with shit. Like I don't know what he wants, but I do remember. I remember once you were asking me about the Super Friends era, and I remember you said something interesting. You're like, if you wanted to do a show like that, you probably couldn't even do it now if you wanted to. And I did go back and listen to some of those shows. That was 2008. I was 24 years old, bro. I'm 41, turning 42 now. If I want to go back to that era, I couldn't, because my brain, like, and the thing is, I listened to myself and I was laughing because I was like, I was pretty clever. It's not that I'm not clever now. It's that, like, my brain just isn't wired that way anymore. And I do feel like if you're the same person, that you're just not growing. And it's just, I don't know what he wants. I think we're pretty entertaining still. I don't know. If you listen, bro, if you don't like the show, you can click off, bro. Honestly, like it, I don't see it that way.
Yeah,
like, I don't know what you want, bro. We still make jokes about minorities being minorities. I don't understand what the fuck it's the same. We started
the show. The last show we were speaking Spanish for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what got left over, that or Danhausen. What?
You fucked up the ese alphabet button.
Yes, I had the button on. So yeah. And also, like, I hate WWE, bro. I see the shit that you write in the chat, and it's like, well, there's a lot of gimmick accounts on this thing. So they're saying that you're cutting out. Say something real quick.
I'm not cutting out, am I?
You just did. You went, I'm not. Cutting out, am I? You're cutting out a little bit. Is there anything you got going on in the background?
No, but let me shut down the Wi-Fi on my phone. Sometimes that helps.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So you didn't like Chamber. Hold on. Somebody in here asked about what YouTube channel this is on. This is on World of Geekdom. He goes, how can I find the live feed on YouTube? World of Geekdom is the channel that's streaming on YouTube. On X, it's me, obviously. What channel is it on? World of Geekdom. And then, are you guys getting the new WWE game? Draven does not really play video games. I haven't played a WWE game in years, bro. Like
since Royal Rumble '93. That was the last game. That was the last game I played
on Super Nintendo. Is that the one you're talking about,
bro? That was a cool game. Yes.
Did you? Okay.
Remember when Yoko Tuna would give the? Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, did you know that the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo versions had different rosters?
Yes, I did. I did know that.
I didn't know you knew that. Yeah, Hacksaw Jim Duggan is in one, and Papa Shango's in the other.
What popped me was that they had their middies. What do they call them? Middies? The little songs.
Yeah.
Back in the day,
yes, they did. Yes, they did.
They had Shawn Michaels' theme song, Yokozuna's.
Everyone.
It was awesome, bro.
Let's see if I can find it, bro.
That was the last one I ever played.
Raw. That was nice. I think actually the one you might be thinking of is Raw is War '94. But there's also Royal Rumble that came out in '93. That one has Ric Flair.
No, that's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Royal Rumble. Because I'm trying to see if I can find those middies, bro. Royal Rumble '93 special. Remember on the Coliseum video, strategy tips. With Top Pedophile.
That's right.
Yeah, and he did the fucking. Here we go. Hold on. I found it. Okay, I found it. Let's see if I can show the people, because you popped me. I it's not that I forgot about the game. It was just because I have this game. All right, here it is, bro.
Bret Hart.
You hear that?
Yeah.
Okay. Graphics are not bad for Super Nintendo, bro. Look at this. There he is, bro. Kona Crush.
There it is, bro. Kona Crush.
With the blue screen. Nate. Sean. Rays.
That's right.
Yoko Tuna. That was still the narcissist, bro. Here it is.
There it is, the mini.
Brother, I'm gonna leave a comment right here, bro. I'm gonna put if Goldberg.
You gotta put this guy over, bro.
I say if Goldberg was in this game, he would. Brett would ask to be removed. Somebody's gonna read that in pop, bro. Somebody. Okay, so you did not like the Chamber, right?
No.
Do you want to talk about that? Like, do you want to go into that?
Well, I already went into it. It was very boring. Like it was not boring, basic. Just like we live in an era, bro, where you have to have a little better work rate. You know what I'm saying? And I almost feel like they're going backwards. They've been going backwards for a while. Like Javon Evans. It's like, what did he do? He does all kinds of cool shit. Didn't let him do anything. He got beat up for 5 minutes and then pinned. You know, and I feel like WWE has been clunky. They blow spots left and right. Like, is it because they don't have house shows anymore? Like,
what about Randall K putting on the Generalissimo Takada hat and when he popped at LA Knight's botch, bro?
Yeah, but we didn't see when he popped. That was internet shit. They didn't have his. Both of them were internet shit.
I popped when I saw it, though.
Well, I did too, bro. By the way, that's not kayfabe.
a lag between you and I, bro. Like it takes a couple seconds for you to get what I'm saying. Just letting you know that.
Let me. I'm gonna leave the chat and come back.
Okay, he's gone. He's gonna come back. Maybe he's resetting his computer. I don't know. That was like he's we'll see here. He's okay. I think he's coming back now. It's too choreographed. Everybody wants to wrestle like Ricochet. We're probably gonna talk about Ricochet here in a minute. Are you back?
Yes. Hopefully
okay,
that helps a little bit.
If not, you may have to reboot the computer. I think there might be a little bit of a lag, but whatever. So, all right, brother, I've already addressed this. We're not banning people just because you want us to do it. Like these gimmick accounts, bro. Okay, so what did you think? Oh, you said you liked Raw. What did you think about what did you think about CM Punk and Roman Reigns? That segment.
I liked it. I thought it was cool. I like how they're using that
the minute they start
shoot
and the work shoot, it's like, okay, this is an AEW promo, basically.
That's what you thought.
Yeah, that's the first thing I popped in my head. But I didn't hate it. I'm just saying that's like we're gonna do the edgy storytelling with the real life shit. Like it's like that's all they can really do. It's like almost anything CM Punk does. That isn't as funny. Almost anything CM Punk does relates back to that. You know what I mean?
But they're doing it. But they're doing it with other angles. They did it with Liv. Remember when they made her cry? There was a lot of like work shoot right there when Dominic was doing the interpreter gimmick that popped you.
No, I popped you. You're the one that popped. Well, I did pop. I did pop, but you popped when you saw it.
Now he was awesome in that. He was awesome because he was also fighting for her, like advocating for her. It was wacky, bro.
Guy out there.
Then they did it. Oh, one of the things they're doing, like today, all day on Twitter, they had Jade Cargill go back and forth with Rhea Ripley. I don't know if you've been caught up on that stuff, but there's a lot of WWE wrestlers like Chelsea Green and Piper Niven who are saying that Jade Cargill is not a good wrestler. Like this is all going on right now as we speak. It's a big thing on Twitter today. So WWE is this whole like work shoot, not just with Punk and Roman Reigns. They're doing it with other big matches at WrestleMania. And then Drew McIntyre has made a living out of that kind of promo for the last 2 years now. So,
right.
So I like it because it doesn't cross over to Russo territory. Like they know where to straddle that line. And I think it makes it for a more interesting promos as you build to WrestleMania. They're not your regular run-of-the-mill promos, which I like. And I like that they're doing them with all the feuds, not just with Roman and Punk. But Punk does get a little wacky,
Well, I was going to ask,
but there was a lot of stuff
about the closing line about "I'm going to bury you next to your father." That a lot. The first thing I thought of was he going heel?
They're gonna do the whole tweet. They're both gonna be tweeners, bro. That's just how they do it. God, the Papa said it's Tamina time. Where's she been at?
He's been gone for a while, bro.
Well, no shit. I think that wasn't interesting. But what did he mean by that? Like, it was weird.
I'm gonna bury you. But here's the thing: if they're trying to appeal to smart marks by saying that Punk's gonna bury him, like how Triple H used to bury people, that's not gonna happen because we all know Roman Reigns is not getting buried by anybody. That's just not happening. Okay, Roman Reigns is one of their guys. Like he's never gonna get buried. In fact, if you go back to the John Cena feud, the first one, remember how Roman Reigns said, "You can't bury me, John. You can't bury me with your golden shovel, and you know it." That was a true statement, bro. And that was walking the razor's edge of shooting work. So it's like very similar here. But Punk saying, I'm going to bury you next to your father. He took that to like the next level of it being personal. But I feel like maybe they felt they needed to do that because the angle is not like the angle needs as much. WrestleMania needs help, bro. Bottom line, they got to get everything revved up as much as possible. And I think that's what they're thinking. Let's make it very personal, which is a very Paul Heyman thing. A lot of Paul Heyman fingerprints over that storyline. And of course, they're both Paul Heyman guys. So, and he's going to help book their angles.
What about the fact that he got color, bro? Paul Heyman never takes a bump. That's why this show had a lot of angles. He got color.
Yeah. And then LA Knight drove him to the hospital.
Yeah, he did the Sandman gimmick, bro, and the Steve Austin gimmick.
Where
where does that leave us with Seth Rollins? Is Braun Breaker gonna come back on time, or do we go to another?
I thought it was.
Or is it Logan and Paul again?
I thought it was going to be Logan and Seth, but now I'm thinking they're going to do Logan and Seth against the Usos. I'm sorry, Logan and Austin Theory against the Usos, and they'll do Braun and Seth at Mania. I think Braun is going to be back in time, right? I mean, that makes sense, right? Do we know? Well,
they said 12 weeks. It's cutting it close, but he could do promos all the way till, like, he doesn't have to wrestle.
Right. And the thing is, you could tell that he's not 100% healed because if you notice in the chamber, he wasn't the one that climbed the chamber. He walked in slowly to the chamber. And same thing happened on Raw. Like, he walked slowly behind Paul Heyman. There wasn't a lot of work. He wasn't trying to hurt himself. So I feel like what happened or what's happening, and this is, you know, what's a cool touch is the fact that all of the other masked men were basically students of Seth Rollins' school. That's kind of cool, right? But you could tell he's not doing anything too crazy so he doesn't get hurt because he'll be in the WrestleMania card. So at least we have that. At least that's the storyline going back to September. But man, the vision is cursed, bro. The vision is definitely cursed because Seth gets a real injury.
Maybe Donovan Danhausen. That Donovan Danhausen put a curse on them, bro.
Well, maybe, but did I tell you my idea for Donovan Danhausen, bro?
As long as it doesn't have a lawyer. Please don't let it have a lawyer.
No, a lawyer. No. Here's my idea. So Danhausen should use his cursing powers for a year on WWE television, and then he has an open challenge at WrestleMania next year. And then Papa Shango comes out, right? And he tries to do the curse on Papa Shango, but he reverses it, and Danhausen goes down for the 1, 2, 3. Later on in the show, on the same WrestleMania, right, we cut to the back, and Danhausen's bummed out, and here comes Godfather, bro, and he offers Danhausen the hose, and Danhausen takes them, bro, and that's it. That's my 1-year storyline for Donovan Danhausen.
Bro, this is...
Bear, like, you know, Taker would bring in Bear to get a payday, bro. But see, that would work better this year because they're in Vegas and Bear lives there.
That's right.
I popped you with Bear, bro. What pops you more?
No, Bear, that pops both of us, but
Mark Sinclair.
That pops both.
Bro, I want you to answer this question.
You know that Bear used to work out with Dave, right? Bro, Bear used to work out with Dave. That's how he knows about Bear.
I did not know that.
Because Bear was a biker from Northern.
That's a wacky fucking combination, bro.
Because Bear was a biker from Northern California, and then that's how he met Take because of the biking culture.
Bro, let me ask you a question. All right, and I want you to answer this as a fan of movies. Mark Sinclair is saying the next Fast and Furious movie is going to go back to street racing. How the fuck can they go from Jason Momoa being that very effeminate villain heel and giant balls in like France and like damn near Dominic Toretto almost getting fucking drowned in battleships and all this shit we saw in
space, bro.
Going to space in 9, but I meant more so Fast 10. How are they gonna blow off the story with Dante or whatever? How are they gonna blow that story off in street racing, bro? How does that make sense? You can't go back to
Mark
basics
Sinclair's
now.
out there, bro. Mark Sinclair is out there. He also said, and remember, he's just saying this. I don't know how he's gonna pull it off. He said that Paul Walker's gonna be in this. He said Paul Walker's gonna be in this movie.
You know they can pull that off with deep fakes and fucking AI, bro.
I think, but he said Paul Walker, bro.
He is.
He didn't say what was the name of his character?
Brian.
Brian. He didn't say Brian. He didn't say Brian O'Halloran or whatever his last. He was a Mick. No, he said Paul Walker would be in. So this guy's gonna call Donovan Danhausen, or I don't know what he's gonna do, but he's gonna race another one that's gonna race the dead, bro.
Vamp. Yeah, he's gonna call Vamp.
Vampiro Canadiense, bro, who's cutting promos in Spanish, warning people about the cartel.
Who speaks better Spanish, him or El Gran Americano 2?
I don't know, bro. That's a good question. But but they both speak better Spanish than Cain Velasquez. We know that. Who's a free man, by the way. Praise the Lord on that. He's a free man.
Yes, a man who on this show I said did not deserve to go to prison, bro.
No, he didn't. You're right, 100%.
I will say yes. I have seen this video. I think I sent you that video, right?
No, but I don't watch those videos, bro. They're all over the place.
Yeah, saying suplex. Who's more ND, Darby Allin or the Uber driver? He's talking about our Uber driver.
No, bro. The Uber driver wasn't ND. His passenger was, because
which is me and Carol and probably Logan and you. But all right.
No, here's the part of the story that we haven't talked about, bro. Not only were you popping
I popped everybody, bro.
The Uber driver. Logan was also popping. The thing about Logan is that he's a character. People don't know what we're talking about, but that's okay.
Character.
He was popping in that weird. He was giving me that look like I'm not really here right now, but I'm still popping. Like I can't even explain it, bro. Only if you meet Logan will you know how I'm talking about.
No, nobody has any idea, bro.
Well, he's a character. That's all I need to know. But you were popping that Uber driver with doing the fucking Reservoir Dog impression, bro.
Joe Cabot, bro. Yeah, I don't even know where it came from. Bro. Like, I don't even know where. I mean, I know, like, I don't know. How do we even get on that topic, bro?
You're popping it, bro.
We got on that topic for a reason. But okay, let's educate the people, bro.
Is on his job. Under no circumstances.
Remember, folks, Danny's doing this next to the Uber driver who was from India.
Yeah, he was.
Which, like, I have so many questions, bro. Like, but play the clip.
All right, you can hear it, right?
Yeah.
Don't want any one of you to relate to each other by your Christian names.
See, that already pops. See, by the way, this segment is gonna be deleted off of the replay because I'm sure Tarantino and what's the guy's name, bro, who's in prison? Weinstein's gonna get mad at me, bro, but fuck him.
Any talk about
we're putting them over.
Faggot, all right?
that was the first thing.
Remember, bro.
That was the first thing.
The Uber driver is popping.
He's popping for this, bro. He popped. He did.
But does he know where it's coming from, bro? Does he know the reference, or is he like?
He either knows it or he's laughing at the fact that I'm using that word. No, and then he popped the city council line, which is coming.
But you're a faggot, all right?
I like how the other guys laugh at him, bro.
Why can't we pick our own colors?
No way. Tried it once, it doesn't work. You get four guys all fighting over who's going to be Mr. Black. But they don't know each other, so nobody wants to back down. No way. I pick. You're Mr. Pink.
I pick. You're Mr. Pink.
Mr. Purple. That sounds good to me. I'll be Mr. Purple.
This is the other line that popped coming up right here from Cabot.
Not Mr. Purple. Some guy on some other job is Mr. Purple. You're Mr. Pink.
What pops me is you and I both know there is no other job. He's just talking shit to shut him the fuck up. There's no other job where somebody's Mr. Purple. He's just telling him that to shut him the fuck up. He's like, if we do another movie, then maybe fucking he's Mr. Purple. That's the line that popped the Uber driver the second time. He's in a goddamn fucking city council meeting.
Like, what's going on? What if he just got to this country, bro? The Uber driver.
Well, he knows what that word meant.
And then later on that night,
that was I'm Fooked, right? No, that was a different night. I'm Fooked was a different night.
That was the same night, bro. That was the same night.
I don't think
sick so. And you were pop. Yeah, it was because we were going to the wrestling show. We were going to GCW, and you got sick at GCW. Then we came back. So that on the ride back, you kept on going. I'm Fooked.
I'm Fooked. No, I don't think it was on the ride back. I don't think it was on the ride back. I think it was when we got to the hotel room and I walked in.
I'm
I remember I
cool.
walked in and I go, I'm fooked. And you go, you start popping. I go, I'm fooked. And then I went to go puke, bro. I'm puked. He's gonna. I'm
Well, the
surprised you
best
didn't
part-
go. You should have gone. He's gonna puke. He's gonna puke. See, that would have popped.
No,
me.
I
would've-
made that joke. I'm sure I made that joke. But the thing is that the funny part about that whole night is that I stole a lot of your gimmicks, bro. I stole a lot of your pills.
No, I offered them to you. But what popped me about you borrowing my gimmicks is prior to this, you were
Oh,
cutting
Junior
promos.
RDC is gonna get a story right now. He's gonna get the story.
Oh, is that okay? We'll get.
No,
to
it's the
that.
Batman first of all,
Not the
So,
Joker.
okay.
But wait,
Okay,
before we get to
'cause
that, what I was gonna hold on before we get to, I'll get to the story. But one last thing, I let you borrow or I let you have some of my gimmicks, but remember, you were cutting promos on those gimmicks for years, bro. You were like, it's not good for your brain, blah blah blah. But then you took them, bro. That pops me, bro. It's like a Kurt Angle thing.
Well, I took a couple.
Yeah, you took.
We were in Vegas. Why not?
Exactly. That was my justification. Listen, every time that I get into a plane, I get stoned because when the plane goes up, bro, it gives me a nice feeling. Except for once when the plane was like, okay, so I once got so fucked up on a plane that every little jolt felt like we were going down, and I actually got scared. I grabbed the seat in front of me, bro, because I thought the plane was going down, bro. I don't think I ever told you that story.
No,
But
you
what I
told me when
did
you
tell
were
you,
lost in-
oh, go ahead.
Well, you've been lost in Cleveland a couple of times.
A couple times, even when we do this show. Remember that one time where it hit in the middle of the show, bro?
Well, that was more than a couple of times.
Well, I just remember a couple times, but okay. So
all right, so the first time I heard this story, I couldn't believe it because there's so many
recent.
questions. There's so many questions, okay? And I'm gonna be asking them again because there's gonna be just as funny.
I answered these questions, bro.
But there's also other possibilities. So okay, so you first of all, you very casually we're talking about our favorite stories, and I brought up you driving without a windshield, which is a classic. I brought up the guy that didn't like that population, which we'll never say, we can't say on here.
The guy from Plant City.
No, bro, the Archie Bunker guy.
That was the guy in Plant City. Yeah, that's him, bro. Is it? And I don't know, sir.
We brought up the story about how when you went and you read Ray Hercules Fernandez's wife.
That's a classic one, bro.
For like no reason.
Hercules Hernandez's pictures, bro, and I'm like, wait a minute, who's Hercules Hernandez?
But you asked the wife, like, did you tell her?
It was the mother-in-law, and then I called the wife because they wanted me to. I didn't ask the wife about Hercules, but the mother-in-law I did. I was like, so are you related to Hercules Hernandez? She told me, oh yeah, he was a lovely guy. My daughter was with him. I think it was his wife. Yeah, but it's weird because I'm walking in, right, and I'm seeing these pictures that are like in nice frames. So it's not a Mark's house. I knew it wasn't a Mark, and it's like, wait a minute. This is Hercules Hernandez. Like I saw, and then there was one of him, the classic WWF picture from '90 where he's holding the chain, right? I saw that in one of the portraits, and then next to it, I saw him with this lady. I'm like, is this Hercules' house?
You should have told the mother-in-law. Well, who was the power and who was the glory?
She wouldn't have got that, bro.
You never know, bro.
She wouldn't have got that.
Roddy Toombs, he was such a nice man. I'm glad you remember that soundbite from that show.
She's gonna call him Rodney Toombs, bro. I don't think so, bro.
Well, that's his real name.
I know, but she's gonna call him Mr. Piper or just Rod.
Bro, remember when they had the press conference before WrestleMania 8, and Jack Tunney's trying to be professional. You know, it was the Macho Man, Taker, Sid, Hogan, and Piper, and he calls him. Yeah. He calls him Roderick Piper, bro.
Roderick Piper.
He's like, Roderick Piper. Bro, so here's what wrestling is wacky, bro.
Yeah.
So are you telling me that this man, who just happened by faith, his last name was Piper, right? By faith.
And he was Scottish. Just like Otto Octavius, bro. It's one of your favorites. Otto Octavius became Dr. Octopus.
Yes, exactly. This motherfucker, his last name was Piper. He knows how to play the bagpipes. Even though
Well, he really doesn't. Remember, that was a work at SummerSlam 92.
the last time we saw him, bro, besides a little cameo against Jerry Stupid Lawler in '94, that was it for him in the WWF.
No, the Hollywood Backlot Brawl, and he was the commissioner.
Oh, that's right. But that wasn't the real Piper no more at that point. So, anyways, so you just casually say, "Oh, and I watched the Batman on a wheelchair." I'm like,
No. I told you. I think I told you. I don't think I ever told you the Batman wheelchair story. I think I actually knew it was a wacky story.
Yeah, but you had never. You thought you told me. That's why you just casually.
I did. Yeah, because right. Yes, you're right. I thought.
And I was like, "What the fuck?" So I'm gonna ask you questions again because it doesn't make sense to me. So the first question is that you bought a ticket, right? How do you buy a ticket in the handicap section?
I wanted to see the Batman, and I wanted to go to the early showing. That was. Why are you laughing already?
Because I'm picturing all kinds of things right now, bro.
I wanted to go on the Wednesday, which was the early showing.
And
not
remember,
the
folks,
Thursday.
this is a 3-hour movie. This is not an hour and a half movie. This is
I did not know it was a 3-hour movie, bro. I really didn't. And remember,
Very
on World
indeed,
of
by the
Geekdom, on this channel, we broke the entire plot of the movie down because that was when I was doing my World of Geekdom streak, bro, with The Matrix, Godzilla versus Kong, The Flash, or my guy, who shall remain nameless, my very real inside source, was giving me entire plot lines of movies.
Yeah, just from WB. I hope people caught on to that. But
well,
only geniuses like me would put that together.
Well, they did catch on to that, but they never found out who it was, hopefully and thankfully. But remember, this got to
for that guy from the story you told me, bro.
This got to the point where WB's lawyers called me on the phone, bro. WB's lawyers called me on the phone. I'm 90% sure I told you, bro. Of all the times I have leaked information or covered leaks or whatever, I've never had Warner Brothers attorneys calling me on this phone, bro, my business house phone. The first question I asked them was, how'd you get my phone? They were like, well, when you do a copyright claim, they get my information in case they want to take me to court. But what happened was she calls me on the phone talking about the Matrix leak because it was real. Because I dropped the entire plot of the Matrix. It's on this channel. If you think I'm lying, on this channel, World of Geekdom on YouTube, type in the Matrix, look at the date. The trailer hadn't even dropped yet. The trailer didn't even drop, and I had
bro, you need Jerry
story.
S. McDevitt with all these calls from lawyers you're getting.
Well, it was only the one. It was only the one call, bro. But here's what happened. That's what this guy said, bro. No, but here's what happened. So she's calling me and she's asking me all these questions about who I got the information from. And so I was like, I got it from sources. I'm not going to tell you who it is. Like, are you crazy? And I asked her straight up, I go, is this real? Like, is the information I revealed real? And she's like, I don't know. I haven't seen the movie yet. But in the back of my head, I'm like, it has to be real because if it wasn't, you wouldn't.
Come on, bro. You're like sweet talking to her at this point.
Well, it was a woman. And I'm very charming, as you saw with that fat girl at Wrestlemania.
No, she wasn't fat, bro. She wasn't fat.
She was
cute. She was Big Bubba Rogers' daughter's cute.
Chunky, bro. Chunky. So anyways, and then I call my lawyer and I'm like, do I have to worry about this? And he said, one of two things is going to happen. If they go after you legally, what they've done is they've basically revealed to the world that your stories are legit, and all that's going to do is build up your YouTube channel. They're probably not going to win the case because they cannot prove that the information you got was leaked. It's all hearsay. And he said, if they ever decide to sue me, this is what my lawyer told me, it would be the best thing to ever happen to me because it would catapult this channel into new heights as being a legitimate leaker above everyone. And that's basically the Streisand effect is what Warner Brothers, because if Warner Brothers sues a YouTuber, bro, that's going to be everywhere. Every movie channel, every movie podcast will be talking about it.
Was this Nick Lambros you're talking to, bro?
No, but he's a good lawyer, bro. And number two, what he told me was, he said, they're probably just going to drop it. All you have to do is tell them you heard it from various people, but you can't give away who it was, because he asked me, he goes, do you have a copy of the script? Any reels from behind the scenes? Do you have any pictures from behind? I said, no. He goes, then you're good to go. If they do discovery and find that I have like actual script copies in my possession, then that's called leaking industry secrets, and they can take me to court for that. But I didn't have that. I never have that, except for, of course, where is it? Where is it, bro?
I heard that you have the Dragon Ball.
Except for this. And
Patrol.
people on the Geekdom 101 YouTube channel, this is not a World of Geekdom or a KLB thing, but people on the Geekdom 101 YouTube channel know the significance of what this is. So, do you know what this is?
That's a storyline to the Ski Patrol.
You're not in what?
The storyline to the Ski Patrol, the Dragon Ball cartoon that's coming out.
Not the storyline, but you're not too far off, bro. You're not too far.
I have the storylines right here. Dragon Ball Ski Patrol coming September 2026, I think.
No, this pops me. Papa said they act like you had nuclear codes. They did, bro. And what happened was she told me to delete the video.
Dragon Ball.
That's the Observer, isn't it? That the Observer, bro? It's the size of a small book. Do you remember that gag, bro?
Yeah, of course.
No. The gag. Okay, let me tell. We'll do another story before we get into the fucking joke or Batman. Garrett, our boy Garrett, once told us privately that, and it's not really a secret, he's like, I saw Dave with his shirt off, man, and he's jacked. And then later on, you and I are like laughing at that. And I think you go, do you think he saw his dick? And then I go,
I have no memory of this, bro.
No, this happened. This is back in 2014, bro, 2013. And I go, yeah, I'll bet it's the size of a small book. And it popped you, bro, because that's what, remember when the Observer used to be promoted back in the day, they would say 35,000 words on pro wrestling. It's the size of a small book. You remember that, right?
Yeah.
That's what happened.
But I
bro,
think you bury your own joke, because a small book is like this, bro. That's pretty thick.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. The joke is about Dave, bro. Anyways, it was funny back then.
He has a small dick, as we're trying to say.
No, it's not about the dick size, just the small book comparison. So, okay, where do you want to go? Okay, so I was buying my ticket to the Batman. There were no seats available except for handicap seats. I didn't even realize they were handicap seats.
Okay, so you didn't know. As you're buying the ticket, you did not know they were
handicap. It had a wheelchair picture there, but I thought it was going to just be a regular seat, but for people who had wheelchairs.
Okay,
so I bought the ticket.
And then you get to then you walk into the theater. Now remember, folks, there's people. There's people around.
It's packed. It's completely packed.
So there's somebody no more than like 2 feet from you, because the seats are very close.
I came in near the end before the trailer started, and it was already getting dark. They already dimmed the lights.
This is even worse, bro, because now you're making a scene.
Well, you laughed at that. I didn't make the scene.
No, it's wacky, bro. Okay, so
I sat down in a chair.
Oh, so they had a chair.
No, in the theater chair. Another guy walks over and he's like, hey, this is my seat. And I pull out the phone and I'm like, no, it's not. This is my seat. So he goes to get the usher. The usher comes out, and this is before the movie started. But
what are you thinking at this time? Like, this motherfucker got the wrong seat. Like, you're thinking this is
exactly. But no, he got the right seat. And actually, I wound up apologizing to him. I was like, hey, I'm real sorry. I thought this was my seat. He's like, yeah, no, don't worry about it, bro. It's not a big deal. So I wound up sitting next to him, but there was no chair there. He's like,
so you get up and you go to the side, and it's empty.
And there's nothing there, yeah, and there's nothing there because it's the way they have that section organized. It's 2 regular seats, an empty space, 2 regular seats, an empty space. But that movie was so hyped up that it was let's call it a legitimate sellout, bro. Or like Noah used to call it, no vacancy. Every seat in that theater was taken. I think people forgot how big that movie was.
Look, Serge Salinas is finally here, bro. ¿Qué pasa, Tío Draven? Well, I'm drinking wine is what I'm doing.
I thought that was a 2-liter Pepsi, bro, like me from back in the day.
No, it's wine.
So you are drinking alcohol.
I mean, what else am I gonna do, bro? I finished my maca latte already. It's gone.
Earlier, you were like, "Oh well, you've drank more than I have." I'm like, "No, I haven't." Now look at you, bro.
I forgot about that. I was bullshitting you, bro.
I figured you were.
But I haven't drank in a long time before tonight. At least 4 months. But who gives a shit?
That's fine. So I get up and the usher tells me, "Wait here." I go, "Am I in trouble?" He goes, "No, don't worry about it."
Very end these stories.
He's
bro.
like, "Stand over there." So I stood on the sidelines. He comes back with a wheelchair, and he sits down and he goes, "Right here." And I sat down.
The movie's going already.
No, not yet. It's on trailers. Now we're on trailers.
Nicole Kidman hasn't come out yet. With her stupid.
You popped me with that, bro. AMC movies. We make movies better.
That hasn't happened yet.
No, bro. I think Tom Cruise did a number on her fucking mentally, bro.
But this whole time you're standing up, bro. Like you're ruining people's experience.
I was still being quiet. Nobody was complaining. I was because we were whispering to each other.
No, but the guy that you took his seat, he's sitting down in front. Like now he wants to see the movies. Like, why the fuck is this guy still here?
Because the usher told me to wait. So I waited, and then the usher brings out a wheelchair, and he's like, "Here, sit here." And then he's like, "You bought a handicap ticket. You're supposed to bring a wheelchair, but we have some, so sit here." I was like, and then the movie started. I didn't want to cause any more problems. I just wanted to watch the fucking movie, so I sat in the wheelchair and I watched the entire 3-hour movie in a very uncomfortable wheelchair. And then when the movie left, I got up and dipped, or the movie ended, I got up and dipped and left the wheelchair there.
But you didn't like do the gimmick where you start rolling the wheels by accident or start popping a wheelie or nothing like that?
No, but now that you mention it, I probably should have. That would have been ND as fuck.
Because the thing is like, it's our human nature, right? We have our hands busy.
Yes, so it was bring your own wheelchair, but they had one.
All right, so you're sitting next to the guy though.
Yes.
I wonder what he's thinking though. Like this motherfucker's in a wheelchair.
This motherfucker's an idiot, bro. That's probably what he was thinking. This motherfucker's an idiot.
But here's the thing though. This is where it gets weird. They usually don't let you buy the ticket that he bought without having somebody that's in a wheelchair. That's supposed to be a combo pack. I don't know how they sold them
in some theaters. I think you're right. Yeah.
So, what about it when you wanted to go pee? Like, were you
I didn't go pee. I was there the full 3 hours, bro.
But would you have gotten in your wheelchair, or would you gotten up?
No, I would have gotten up. Yeah.
But you were gonna creep some people. Remember, people that have no context of this.
Yes, they think that I'm like, why is that guy in a wheelchair just getting up? Is he not okay? No, everything you're saying is true. But I just sat there and just watched the movie quietly.
Bro, you made somebody believe in Jesus that night because they have no context.
Just got up and left.
Like that. They have no context of this shit, bro. And
you don't need proof. That's the point. You do not need proof, sir.
And they see a grown-ass man get up
and walk out
with a wheelchair.
The wheelchair's still there, bro.
Somebody in transition, you probably pushed them all the way to the other side, bro. So you did God's work that day.
Yeah. Good, bro. That's good.
Now, were you getting antsy? Like, because the movie's 3 hours long, bro.
I didn't know it was. I just sat there and watched it. But you know what? That was such a good movie, bro, that I got into it and like I lost track of time. And that's
especially when our boy Paul Dano kicks into action in the third act, bro.
I know, bro. You're right. And also the chick that played Catwoman was pretty hot, bro. What's her name? You know who I'm talking about.
That's Lenny Kravitz's daughter.
Zoe Kravitz. She was pretty hot in that movie, bro. I'm not even gonna lie.
Bro, the Papa said that somebody yelled "Es un milagro," bro, when you got up.
That would have popped me, bro. That would have popped me. There were probably a lot of spics there, bro.
Was that the one? I was gonna say the town that you live in, but I'm not.
I always wear chancletas, bro. I always wear chancletas.
But was that? You know where you dropped me off to go to St. Petersburg, bro? That mall, was that in that area or was that another theater?
I don't remember.
Because there's a mall, maybe like 10 minutes away from your house. That's where you dropped me off.
I don't remember dropping you off at a mall.
Or like where they have the AMC theater.
That's probably the one. It's across the street from them all.
Okay. Anyways, it was that one.
Yeah, I was. Well, that's the movie theater I go to most of the time. But if I get like an early access movie, I'll go somewhere else. That one was one of those things where it was one of those, like, you know how when you're an investor in AMC, you get like movies early.
Yeah.
I'm a pop you right now, bro. Do you know how much money I have in AMC?
It's a bad investment right now, but tell me.
I'm going to tell you. Now, I want to make this clear to everybody. I'm logging into my investment account right now. I want to make this clear to everybody, right? When it comes to AMC theaters and all that, right? They don't care how much you have invested. All they care about is that you're an investor. You get access to movies early. AMC Entertainment, right? $1.97.
Yeah, but when is the last time you went to like one of those screenings?
I don't know, a bunch of times. That's not the point. The point is that I have $1.97 invested, and that buys me into seeing movies early, bro.
You're gonna lose money on that. Tell you that right now. They were at
it's $1.97, bro. Oh, I'm losing $2. Oh, that's the end of me.
Hey, you never know, bro. But they were at like $20, and now they're like at $8. They're bad right now. They're bad.
And that's the whole concern about movie theaters, bro, going out. So
even though we're gonna have a big resurgence, because Screen 7, right? Screen 7, which was horrible, by the way. Somebody earlier asked for my what movies I'm looking forward to. That was one of them, and it sucked. But it made $97 million. That was a big hit.
That's huge. Yeah, that's a big franchise.
Especially nowadays. Well, it made 64 and then the rest overseas. But they're saying that this year is going to recuperate. This year is when you're starting to see all the films that were lagged behind from the strikes and the COVID and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Doomsday's this year, bro. But we didn't get Dr. Doom stepping over the bodies of the Kangs, bro. I really wanted that,
bro. But you know what?
But if the movie opens with that might be a good opener.
I'll pop, bro. I'll write in capital letters like you do.
I want you to. That's what I want you to do, bro.
No, but okay, but here's the controversy, bro. They have it's called Doomsday, right? You've heard of Doomsday, right?
Of course.
Not Doomsday, bro. Doomsday.
Doomsday?
Yeah, well, you haven't heard about this. What a
Is this like Dune? Is this
now
like
I know
Dune?
why they threw your ass in the wheelchair, bro. So what happened is that Dune 3 is gonna come out on the same day as Doomsday.
Oh, okay, like Barbieheimer.
That's right. And
Dune 3 with Dune 2 was a big movie, wasn't it? That made a bunch of money.
I want the people in the comments to educate this poser, bro. Educate them. Talk about Doomsday. Look, they already, yes, exactly.
But some don't know, like this guy.
What? He got it right. He said Doomsday.
Yeah, but he said question mark. So now he's learning.
Well, he's just
learning
like you
here, Tony.
Okay. So
is that a wise decision, you think, to do that?
Well, yes, because they're thinking that because of the hype, the generated hype, both of them are going to benefit. But here's where it gets interesting, bro. This is where I don't know what they're going to do, and I'm pissed because I'm more. Obviously, I'm an Avengers guy before I'm a Doom guy, right?
And you're a big fan of Mr. Downey, both of them, both Downeys.
Well, I'm also looking forward to Doom 3 because I like what's his name, bro? That guy that did the director, bro, Denis Villeneuve, whatever is the French guy. He's a great filmmaker. Denis Villeneuve.
Not Louis.
No, that's a beta, bro.
You're talking about the guy who did Transporter 2? And a couple of didn't that guy do a couple of the Fast and Furious movies?
He did that. Bro, his big hit was the Paul Dano one with Wolverine and the other guy.
Oh, he's Prisoners. The movie that was the
one that put him on the map. That was the one that put him on.
I love that movie, bro. We talked about that.
Anyways,
you recommend it? No, Shink recommended it and you co-signed it.
Sion Suplex said he's seen 30 movies in the theater this year so far. That's 30 more than you, bro. So you need to
That's 30 more than me, bro. Yes.
Anyways, Dennis Villeneuve. Thank you, Dragon Slayer. So,
HBO was Villeneuve, but whatever.
HBO. Who knows with these fucking guys, bro?
You mean Paramount? Paramount now.
Well, not. But the deal's still not gonna be closed by December. Anyways, bro. HBO-WB. They're like, nah, we have the exclusive with IMAX on that day, and they're not budging, bro. So Avengers Doomsday is not going to be available on IMAX when it opens.
That's what this guy was saying. That's going to delay Doomsday hitting IMAX But how did they get that? That sounds like when Star Wars fucked Tarantino over in 2015. How did they just made the deal earlier than Marvel?
The deal earlier. Now you have all the marks saying, "Oh, well, they'll come up with a compromise. You could do like a double bill," and it's like, why the fuck would WB want to give up that money, bro? Like that's Mark's thinking. You know how Mark's fantasy book and shit because they want to get what they want to get, and it's like if I have exclusivity with IMAX, I'm not gonna give it to Disney, bro. Like fuck them, like you know.
Right. Let me ask you a question. What about Dolby?
No, that's
Dolby's the one I usually pick.
That's the one I usually go to. Fuck IMAX. Anyways, most screens are not really IMAX, bro. It's like
LiveMax
all over in the whole country.
Yeah, we have in Tampa. There's in the Tampa area. There's a lot of LiveMax, but there's only a couple. There's only a couple of real IMAX.
Well, you're gonna get backlash for $700 nosebleeds, bro.
Yes. Okay. Cara de Papa, Super Mario Galaxy, Mortal Kombat 2, Street Fighter, Resident Evil, Scary Movie, Avengers, Doomsday, Masters of the Universe, Toy Story 5, Michael Jackson, all coming out this year. Yes, he's right.
I'm looking forward to all of those. Bro, did you know, this is a rumor, and this has been pretty much validated by a lot of real insiders, that Wario is the real villain, and they kept him hidden in the trailer. Like, he's not in the trailer. They kept him hidden.
I think, didn't you ask me for a prediction, and I said he's going to be in the mid-credit scene?
That's what we thought, but supposedly he's the real villain. Like, he's actually comes out in the middle of the movie, and he's the actual villain. It's not fucking...
I don't hate that.
Koopa Jr. or whatever.
I don't hate that.
That would pop the crowd, bro.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all, bro. I don't hate that at all. I really don't.
And then you know what? The first one was good. 6 on there, right? Cara de Papa didn't put Scary. That's another one that I'm looking.
That trailer just dropped, bro.
It was awesome, bro.
Because the after 3, I feel like that series went downhill.
Well, yeah, but that was when the Waynes left. They're back for this one.
Oh, they're back for this one. Okay,
that's the big hype.
Okay, then that's okay.
Yeah, good. So you have Dune 3. What, like, have you seen the trailer for Hail Mary, bro? That's the one that everybody's hyped up about. That comes out next month. You know, this month.
I saw somebody talking about that. Actually,
yeah.
No, you know what just came in my feed, bro? Somebody just sent this to me right now. So, do you remember the mechanical rhino from Ace Ventura when he was born out of?
Right,
the
of course,
scene in the movie. It's up for sale right now, bro.
What the fuck? Isn't that the one that they put Paul Giamatti in, bro, in The Amazing Spider-Man 2?
You know what? I made that joke back then. I forgot that I made it, bro. I forgot that I made it, bro. The rhinoceros. Look at my screen, bro. There it is. The fucking rhino is up for sale, bro.
Is it like an auction, or they're straight up just selling it for a price?
I don't know. I don't know yet. They're saying it's up for auction. It is an auction. Okay. Bro, that's cool. You know, that's the funniest scene in that movie, bro. That's the funniest scene in that movie.
That one's not as good as the first one.
No, but it's got its classic scenes, bro. Like, it's got the warden from fucking Shawshank Redemption with the
That's right.
Oh no, my brother used to do that to me. So no, I like that movie, bro.
Oh yeah, Science Suplex. I'm also looking forward to The Bride this weekend.
And also the Peaky Blinders movie, that's on Netflix though. So is that movie. Have you seen the trailer for that movie where it's like the Predator, but it's a robot or something?
Yeah, it's called the something machine. Yeah,
War Machine, bro.
War Machine.
Yeah,
not
the rhinoceros.
Not the Viking Raiders.
Yeah, not the Viking Raiders, not
or that one guy from the Ultimate Fighter, bro.
Yeah, the guy who beat up his wife, bro. We got this super chat early. Y'all think eventually Punk turns heel against Roman Reigns? Earlier we answered that, and Draven thinks they're kind of both going to be tweeners. But I do think that eventually Punk needs to turn heel because he's a better heel anyways, bro. Like Punk, I think is better suited.
But he has to do it when it's time. It's not time yet. He's still getting a lot of babyface pops and.
Well, he has to do it if Roman. This whole thing. Okay, let me get this out of the way because we're going to talk about this a lot in the next few weeks. This entire match and what it means is predicated on whether or not Roman Reigns is going to be a full-time guy or not. Because if he wins the title over Punk and he stays in the company for the next, few months, that he's on TV, maybe not every week, but at least every couple weeks, at least it's worth it. But if he's going to disappear like he did in 2023, bro, and just be around once in a while, I don't think it's a good idea to do that now. I think it's a bad idea to do that now, in my opinion.
Bro, what about it? Do something crazy like at the end of the night they do kind of like WrestleMania, the Raging Climax, where they reunite all the original bloodline, bro. Kind of like what they did with DX in that WrestleMania. What was it? 14, 15?
I don't think they reunited DX. It was actually the opposite, bro. Shawn and China betrayed everybody and went to the
No. Triple
corporation.
H in China.
Triple H in China. Yeah,
That's right.
They betrayed everybody, right?
Well, the Road Dogg. They betrayed the Road Dogg and X-Pac, and yeah.
The funniest thing about that show was fucking Shawn. You didn't read that WWF rule book. Priorities, Vincent. Priorities.
Shawn was pretty awesome during that time where he was all doped up.
He was pilled up. He was pilled up, bro.
That's when he was fine asleep in the soup, bro. And his son caught him. That's when he changed. That's changed his life.
Well, that's happened to me on this show a couple times, bro. But ever since I changed my diet, I'm good to go, bro.
You haven't slept on the soup yet, or no more?
No, not since I changed my diet. So you want to go over this WrestleMania card before we close out, bro? We've been going for 2 hours and 20 minutes.
We're good. We're ready to get out of here. Let's go over this card.
This is what we know so far. All right, we're gonna know more Friday. Okay, let me ask you a question. Do you want to come back next week or the week after? What do you think?
We're gonna do next week.
Here's a good question. Thoughts on VKM running from the cops and crashing? I heard of that. There was footage of that too.
Dude, you haven't seen it, bro? You're like the last guy in the world hasn't seen it.
No, but I do want to address something that you said last week that I want you to know about. Remember how I was saying that I don't have time and you were like, that's an excuse? I understand why you're saying that, right? And you know me, listen, I'm going to break kayfabe for a minute. You know that I genuinely respect your movie opinions because we have similar opinions. And even if we don't agree on something, I do have a lot of respect. So when you recommend a movie, I definitely try to get.
But I don't think you've watched one that I recommended ever. Maybe one.
Bro, one battle after another. I literally went to go see it because you're the one that told me to go see it. That was like a couple months ago.
But that's rare. You hardly don't.
No, it's not. No, that's bullshit. You know that. All right, no, now don't lie to the people, bro. Dude, see, that's what I was hoping for, that you wouldn't lie.
Go ahead. Tell me what you're gonna say.
Okay. A lot of people recommend a lot of things, and I do play video games once in a while, and a lot of people want me to play Resident Evil 9, and I think you would even enjoy that game, and I don't have time for that either. So what I'm trying to tell you is, when I say I don't have time, you're right. I can make time for these things, but there's a lot of things that a lot of people recommend to me. Like, dude, I'm not even a big anime guy. Like, I cover Dragon Ball, but I've had so many people throw all these anime at me. Watch this, watch this, watch this. And it's like, I'm just letting you know that it's not a thing with you and me or a thing with, like, I have a lot of people throwing a lot of shit at me on stuff to watch.
I understand. But that's the thing, bro. See, this is, again,
it's tricky.
No, it's not tricky. First of all, I'm going to tackle two things here. I don't like when people say I don't have time because it's the easiest thing in the world to say, right? It is.
I agree with you.
You don't have to be accountable. It's so vague, like, and it also gives people this. It's very self-serving, that whole "I don't have time," because it's hard to challenge that, right? So
I don't disagree with you.
To me, it's a cop out. It's a weak answer, but that's fine because we're all busy. But second of all, I understand what you're saying, but you yourself have thrown because you're like. That's the same argument that I presented with Cobra Kai, except in reverse. And you're like, no, you got to finish it. And I'm like, bro, like, when you have such limited time and you have people giving you other things that no, like, I have a certain taste that I like my leisure time to spend in.
Right. And like, you're watching MCU movies and old wrestling, and that's fine. I do similar stuff.
I love that, bro. You just put a smile on my face. So,
I know
anyways, so if I don't like something, bro, like, I'm not a completist. I'll let it go. It seems like you have a hard time with that, but I don't. Maybe you don't, I don't know.
With Cobra Kai, I was trying to convince you that it actually had a good ending, and it did.
But it wasn't my cup of tea, like the show. But I was trying to tell you exactly what you're telling me. Like, it's not that I don't want to watch it, right? In a perfect world, if I had the time, I'll watch it. But there's other things that are more fun for me that I'd rather spend my time. And that was something you were having a hard time understanding, because it wasn't just with that. I mean, back in the day, you wanted me to watch Dragon Ball, which I tried. It's not for me, bro. I tried 4 episodes because I have to go in order. I can't just start in the middle of a show.
You should go in order.
So, but those 4 episodes didn't grab me. They were, but I don't like animation anyway. It's not just Dragon Ball. I have a hard time with animation.
Are you going to go see Toy Story 5?
No. I'll see it when it streams.
That was one of the movies that you said you were going to go see.
I mean, maybe, I don't know. They're not in my most excited.
Tarantino agrees with the rest of us that they should have ended it with 3.
Yeah, that's his favorite trilogy. Well, that's his favorite animated trilogies. So, anyway, so I know what you're saying. I know that time is limited. We could always make time. I get it. So at the same time, it's like if you're not having fun with something, move on. Like you don't have to finish it just because, oh my God, I started it.
I agree. I agree with you.
And that's
I did that with Stranger Things.
Right. And
yeah,
I don't know. But that's weird. That was literally written for people like you, and you just never. Well, it happens.
No, you're right. I gave it a shot because of the same thing you said. Like, oh, it's an 80s thing. You know, I'm rocking the Transformers 84 logo, bro, which is a great, you know, this was the era of, and was the year I was born. And Nightmare on Elm Street came out in 84. And so did Ghostbusters. What was a better year, bro? 84 or 86? That's tough. 86 has Predator and Top Gun, bro, where he cuts the promo, but he's putting him over.
No, I'm not gonna go. I would say the opposite year of the year you were born, but
is that how you really feel?
That's me doing a Cookie Monster pipe bomb on you, bro.
That's fine. No, listen, I'm fine with that.
The Broly's. Nah, come on, bro. This kind of don't be. One thing I ask all of you guys: don't be trying to put me on Dragon Ball, because the more you try, the less I'm gonna do.
Yeah, well, 86 is when Dragon Ball started.
I'm not gonna listen. One thing that I'm not gonna do is listen to hardcore fanboys about anything, because they're already biased and they're generally. So it's like, why would I listen to like Dragon Ball fans?
Yeah, and also as far as this movie goes, I agree with Draven about something that, and I'm the Dragon Ball guy, and I'm saying this, bro. Draven, if Draven watched this movie, let's pretend that I got him to watch this movie tonight. He's not going to understand anything because this movie came out in 2018, based on a story that started in 1984. If Draven watched this movie, it's like watching Karate Kid Legends without seeing any of Cobra Kai, any of the other. He's going to go into this movie and be like, who the fuck is this? Who the fuck is that? What the fuck is this? He's not going to know shit. You can't watch a movie that's not a self-contained story that's part of a franchise with no context, bro. You just can't. Like, he's not as good as this movie is. This is a good movie. If I put it on for him, he's not going to know shit. I'm going to have to pause it and explain everything to him. And who wants to go through that?
The only more modern Dragon Ball episode that I liked, that I watched with my brother, was the finale of Super, when they had the triple threat match.
I'm kind of shocked. Well, it was 3-on-1, but I'm kind of shocked that you.
Well, I had to, bro. There was only one TV in the room, and he had it on. What do you want me to do? So I got into it.
Like I say, your brother and I would get along. Is that who you're gonna go see? Fucking what do you call it? Revolution? Not Revolution.
Yeah,
it is Revolution.
Right, it is. I'm gonna take him for his birthday.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go see Revolution, baby. But he's got but he likes anime though. I don't think he likes Dragon Ball, but it's not like he's more of an anime guy.
Right, he's more of an anime guy. Yeah.
But Dragon Ball is part of his anime fandom, so he watches Dragon Ball, but it wouldn't be in his like top 5.
This is weird, bro. This is weird because you know a lot of our inside jokes very well, and yet you don't watch wrestling. Okay, I get if you don't watch modern wrestling, but have you never watched wrestling?
Wait a minute. I thought Junior RDZ was a wrestling fan.
So did I. That's what I'm at. That's where.
This is weird, bro.
Yeah, he's actually not wrong about this. The last 2 episodes of Dragon Ball, it wasn't in the streets. The last 2 episodes of Dragon Ball were streamed in Mexico at one of the fucking bull fighting stadiums.
It was before Mencho got killed, bro. Don't be streaming nothing there now.
No, but the Triple Mania, where they ran Jake Roberts and Conan and Barbaro in 93, they took that bull stadium and they streamed Dragon Ball and they drew 70,000 people, right? This really happened in Mexico, right? I swear to God, there's footage of it. But here's what popped me, bro. It'll pop you too. They didn't get permission from Japan, so Japan was pissed because they were illegally streaming the 2 episodes.
See, Nick Khan wouldn't allow that, bro.
But that's Mexico. You mean Nick Lambros and Jerry
Nick Khan, because, bro, you know what Nick Khan's doing?
Oh yeah,
now,
they're shutting out the pay-per-views. Dude, that has to be the greediest thing I've ever heard, bro. You want to talk about that?
Of course, but it's weird, like because they don't sell out now because of the prices. they're not allowing bars around the vicinity to stream the pay-per-views anymore.
I don't like that. I don't like that, bro. I think you're fucking fans over by doing
So
that.
Las Wages, Nevada has lost the rights. Remember last year they had like pool parties. You could go and watch on the big screen.
But that's every year they do stuff like that.
Now it's like, now you can't do that because people need to come to the building and buy our $1,000 nosebleeds.
But brother, and you know this as well as I do, some people either can't afford it but still want to support the product, or they have some kind of disability. Like, you're shutting out people. See, that shit right there is the definition of capitalistic greed.
And sit on the handicap section.
What? The little fella that we caught again the other day, bro, who's back after all these years. That big Shawn Michaels fan.
No, bro. Remember, I have a quick story for the marks here. Remember that one year we went in 2004, and my friends acted like they were retarded, so they'll get put in the handicap section. Bro,
that was 2014. That was 2014.
Yeah, 2014
for the Hall of Fame.
And they got closer because they played the part.
Yeah.
So maybe you should do the same thing when you go to Vegas for WrestleMania, bro.
I wasn't gonna go to Vegas for WrestleMania, but that's not a bad idea. Maybe I should do the wheelchair gimmick again, bro. It worked for the Batman. Do you know we did that for TNA, right? I don't know if I ever told you that story. My friend T rented a wheelchair from from Universal Studios, and he put his leg up, and I'm the one wheeling him around, right? We went to TNA. It was I think it was Genesis. No, it was Turning Point 2006. And he got to sit in the handicap area, which is right next to Dixie Carter and all the fucking executives. The part that's on this side of the hard cam, he got to sit there, bro, in his fucking wheelchair, which is a front row seat.
But he never needed one.
No. And that's the gimmick, is he got in. He did that gimmick, bro.
You should have done the big cat, bro, with the fake leg, with the blanket on it.
Yeah, you're right. That's right. Okay, so this WrestleMania, let's wrap up this fucking show. Yeah. All right. Brock Lesnar, open challenge.
Wait, Purple Bond saying is asking, have I seen F1 the movie? Yes, I have. It's essentially Top Gun.
We talked about it. We talked about it last week.
It's Top Gun, bro. It's Top Gun.
I told him to go see that movie, and he went to go see it. Now he's all into racing, bro. A Puerto Rican into wrestling, bro.
F1, watch that Netflix show, that documentary.
That's what he told me to do. He's like, you should watch the documentary. He told me to watch, and I probably will, because I like those kind of documentaries. All right. Brock Lesnar, open challenge. Lazy booking. Great promos by Heyman, but lazy booking. But I'm not against this being a thing that they do with guys like this.
No, here's my fantasy booking, bro. I'm talking about fantasy booking. So we don't get nothing up until WrestleMania, right? And Lesnar goes out there.
Please tell me this has to do with Papa Shango, bro. Please.
Oh, bro, I'm not gonna beat that one. Dun 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 dun. And he's in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, you know what I would do? That old gimmick where they tease you with a couple fake ones. All of a sudden, Omos comes out, bro, and then Lesnar does that back. You know when Lesnar pops, like he does that.
When he laughs, he's like laughing, yeah.
So Omos goes in, bro, and he gives him the F5 in 2 minutes, pins him 1, 2, 3. All right, and then fucking what was that?
Joe Hendry. Then it's Joe Hendry.
No, well, he got buried last year. That liberal guy, bro, the toxic masculinity guy. He comes out next, bro.
Oh, the alt life guy from SmackDown.
Yeah, so then boom.
Brother, let me ask you a question. If you're watching, I want you to answer this honestly. If you're watching SmackDown, let's say when you were a kid, and your father walked in the room when that guy was in the ring, bro, what would he say to you?
Well, it's better than when Finn Balor sticks his dick out, bro, in the middle of the ring and shit. That's a little more uncomfortable.
All right. What about when Shawn Michaels came out playing with his dick?
That's really uncomfortable, bro.
Because you were still living with your parents when that happened.
Yeah, here's what these people that are listening to our show right now don't understand about hardcore Mexican fathers.
And again, they're saying we're PG. Nothing that we're saying now is PG, bro. So I don't know.
This was fucked up. This one doesn't make sense, bro. I'm a little kid watching professional wrestling, which is perfectly normal. I would pay for the sins of whatever's in my dad's head as he's interpreting what he's watching.
That happened to me as well.
I would take an ass whooping for watching a man in tights wrestling with his
oiled
dick
up.
Right. Even though I'm not gay, the fear of his kid being gay requires him to beat it out of me.
Hispanics are very homophobic, bro. At least they were.
That's so. Anyways, so to answer your question, the toxic guy wouldn't bother him because at that time he didn't speak any English, so he wouldn't understand anyway. He would be laughing at him. ¿Quién es ese maricón? You know, that's all he would say. But somebody like a Finn Balor with his little ass tights, when he does that whole thing with the, you know, and it looks very homoerotic, that would get me an ass whooping.
Okay, fair.
Because he would ask me, ¿Por qué estás viendo eso? Like he would, you know what the thing is, that he would give me a chance to get out of it.
Yeah, and you just gotta say, yo creo que es maricón, and that's it. Pero no me gusta.
Right.
El otro debe ganar. Me cago en su madre.
But at
or
that
somebody
point,
put the sap back on, bro.
But at that point, you're risking it, because if you say the wrong thing, you're gonna get a slap in the face. Like any wrong, you have to tread careful. At least I did. So yeah, to answer your question, that's that. Anyways.
Okay.
So
no.
But wait a minute. I'm not done yet. I'm fantasy booking Brock.
Right. Omos gets beaten by Brock.
2 minutes, and then 1 minute.
No, 1 minute.
And then the toxic guy, and then all of a sudden,
Francisco Miranda.
No, bro, come on. Or Cain Velasquez again, gets squashed again like in Saudi. No, yeah. Anyways,
he's out now.
No, so then all of a sudden we're like, okay, Brock Lesnar's done. He does the towel gimmick where he's what, and then Paul Heyman's like, we knew there was nobody, and then all of a sudden you hear Oba Femi's music hit, bro. Dum, 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 and then he comes down, bro, and that's the real match, and he beats Brock Lesnar in like 4 minutes, bro. They have one of those quick ass like Goldberg Brock Lesnar matches where they're going 1,000 miles an hour, but they're only going 3 minutes, and then 1, 2, 3.
Can Oba go 1,000 miles an hour, bro?
That would pop me, bro. That would pop me. I would be like, that's it. That's how you book a future world champion right there. And you like those houses, those athletic houses anyway. So I know you would already be poppy. That's the only way. That's the only way. But you know what we're gonna get, bro?
It's supposed to be LA Knight.
He's gonna come out, 2 weeks before, a week before, gonna cut his little promo, and then we're gonna have a John Moxley, Brock Lesnar scenario from WrestleMania 32, bro. Fucking weak ass shit, man.
But do you have LA Knight beat Brock?
No. I mean, I have Brock beat. Why?
Because Brock's leaving in the summer.
Yeah, but LA Knight is not at that level, bro.
Well, you got to get him at that level, bro. We talked about this earlier.
He's already been at that level. He's going down. He fought with Roman.
All right,
he's already had a main event push.
I think you should get. Well, I do agree that Oba.
But you know what, bro? If
Oba Femi should be the guy.
Yes, but you know what? If he was to be Brock, I wouldn't argue that either. That's fine. I mean, you want to have.
I mean, you yourself said you're tired of guys like Brock and Randall K beating younger guys, bro.
That's true, but I'm trying to book with their mentalities. I'm not a mark, bro. I'm trying to.
So what would you do if you were in complete control? You do the Oba Femi thing,
right? Exactly what I told you. You get two fake guys out so that you could lower. Remember. You remember the rule of life. What is the rule of life, folks? Under promise and over deliver. People need to remember that lifeism.
It's what I did to Bon Jedi, bro. I buried him and then I saved him. I pulled him out.
Who?
The guy earlier who said that he lost respect for LA Knight, and we laughed at him, then I pulled him out.
So that's what I would do. You under promise by squashing Omos, squashing the toxic masculinity guy, and then all of a sudden as a fan, you're a little let down, right? Fuck this. I knew it was gonna be. You're gonna be people on Twitter. Oh, WWE sucks now, and then all of a sudden, doom, and then boom.
Well, match. No, I got a better idea. Well, no, not a better idea. I'm gonna add to your idea. They do the doom, same thing, but instead of Oba Femi, bro, it's Apollo Crews. And he's coming out doing the Nigerian gimmick. And then he gets laid out. And then he gets laid out by Brock. And then Oba Femi comes out, bro. Oh, and then we find out that Oba Femi's his big brother, bro. His little brother. That's his little brother.
Yeah, that's
because he goes, you beat me, but you can't beat my little brother. And then Heyman's like, little brother, littler than you, and then the gimmick is like the cartoons, bro. It's fucking big ass Oba Femi, bro.
It's like Spike Dudley being the leader of the Dudley brothers, bro.
In 04 or whatever. No, that was that TNA, bro. Brother Runt,
LSD, bro.
So okay.
All right, so what's the next? We're gonna book all the matches, bro.
I agree that Oba Femi's the best.
Okay.
Choice. All right,
we got Oba Femi.
Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley. I'm gonna make a quote right now. my friend Lázaro, aka the Chinkster, I'm gonna tell you exactly what he said during the chamber when they showed Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill. And keep in mind, we were high, he was drinking, we're wrestling fans in my living room. He said, "Wow, the first transgender main event in WWE history," with his grovelly fucking voice. I could not stop laughing, bro, because he just out of nowhere he said it. This is the first transgender main event. He's a hell of a guy to party with.
Cannot go more than 7 minutes, bro. Jade Cargill can't work to save her life. She's gonna get,
You think she's gonna get killed by Rhea Ripley?
No, I think it's gonna be competitive because they want to save Jade, but it's gonna be a title change. 1, 2, 3, boom.
No, I think Rhea Ripley's gonna win. But you're saying that you think they're gonna protect Jade a little bit.
Yes. 7 minutes. Good little 7-minute match.
Is Jade gonna be here for the long term, bro? Because I have a weird feeling she might not be.
I don't think so, bro. Because again, I think you've missed it. But there's a lot of drama on Twitter today with all the bitches in the WWE.
Yeah, but I thought that was a work.
That's what Dave says. Dave's saying that's a work. But Dave's also saying that whatever you're seeing on Twitter in regards to Jade, like that's actually what they think of her. So like that she can't work, that she hurts people, stuff like that's what there's been going back and forth on Twitter.
The thing is, that was an issue in AEW, and I remember thinking you should put her in NXT. And I forgot if it was you or Garrett was like, she's too big of a star to be in NXT. But I'm like, but she has to learn how to work.
I like Garrett because he likes them type of women.
Yeah. No, he's the guy who likes the horses. Speaking of horses, bro, do you think that Rusev is worried about potentially facing off against Opa Femi, considering what happened to him in 2018, bro?
Yeah, bro. Well, he's gonna do the job to him next week on Raw. It's okay. So Rusev got a lot of heat because he didn't want to do no jobs for TK, bro.
Right.
He didn't, 0 jobs for TK.
And now in WWE, bro, he's down the lower mid card. It feels
he's getting squashed. He lasted 10 seconds at the Rumble. He's gonna lose to Opa Femi next week.
You think he regrets doing that in AEW, bro? Because Andrade didn't do that, and he got brought back, and he's getting pushed.
Well, he's a great worker too. All of a sudden, I don't know, man, but I think
crazy. He's always been great.
That's crazy. Yeah. Fucking Alexander Rusev, bro.
Stephanie Vaquer versus Liv Morgan.
Liv Morgan gets the title, bro. I think.
I don't know about that, bro.
Because she's pretty, like, she's not only is she hot as a woman, but she's also hot as a character right now. Like,
but do you want Stephanie to drop the title this soon? Because I feel like
she's had it for a while.
She has, but I think there's money in having her go undefeated against Rhea Ripley.
Oh, bro, one CFO changed her music. What do you all think about CFO changing Stephanie Vaquer's music? Because that was the worst thing ever, bro.
Wait a minute, CFO
or whatever the fuck their name is, bro.
I wish CFO was back, bro. I wish.
Oh, Def Rebel, that's the new one, right? Def Rebel. Sure. Those are the motherfuckers that are, bro. They massacred Alexa Bliss's theme song, bro. Like, it's just a bunch of noise now. She used to have this cool theme song that
dun in.
Now it's like.
No, the Becky theme song is the one that I'm not really into. So I disagree with you, bro. I think Stephanie Vaquer is going to win. I think Liv Morgan. Yeah, she's over and all that, and she's part of a big storyline, but I don't think she's gonna beat Stephanie Vaquer. They really protect Stephanie Vaquer, bro.
Yeah, that's true. Even though she's dating that deaf guy in NXT, which is nothing wrong with that. But
good for him, bro. Good for him.
Good. Enjoy what's there. That's what I say.
Yeah, that's right. Enjoy what's there. Because this is the wrestling business, baby, and that ain't gonna last.
No, I know Dragon Slayer, but CFO was decent. They weren't. I mean.
I like CFO.
Our boy Johnston, he's the best of all time. The guitarist from
Jim Johnston.
Yeah, the guitarist from the DX band.
It's Jim Johnston with fucking Jimmy Hart helping out, bro.
What was it like when they had to edit out the Star Spangled Banner from WrestleMania 14, bro, because it was so bad?
Yeah.
Oh, say, can you see?
Yeah.
I have it because I have pay-per-view version, but not a lot of people have seen that.
Yeah, I've got the pay-per-view version.
And then you see fucking James Johnston with the fucking guitar, where he's a guitarist.
Yeah, he's not the singer. So Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton is what's listed, but it's probably going to be Cody and Randy Orton, or do you have another idea?
As long as
we
they
talked
give,
about that earlier.
As long as they give Randall K the big black dildo so he could follow again, bro, like they did that one WrestleMania where
the one in Orlando.
Bray Wyatt, bro. This motherfucker, God, I'm tired of this guy.
I agree with this.
How many fucking main events has this guy gotten at WrestleMania for? Like a shitload, bro.
Yeah, he's been around since 2002.
Even back then, 2017, where he wrestled Bray Wyatt.
He was already he won the Rumble that year. Yeah, he was already like not that interesting.
And
but he did do the gimmick where he lit the house on fire and did the pose.
That's true.
Was awesome.
He actually killed Sister Abigail, bro, and they never followed up on that. He actually killed the spirit of Sister Abigail, and it was a big deal, and they never talked about it, which is one of the problems with the Bray Wyatt gimmick.
This was Jim Johnston, bro.
Oh, that's everything.
With the sweaty fucking brown shirt.
Only two wardrobes: a suit or a sweaty brown shirt.
Do you put the title on Randy Orton and give him 15, bro?
I don't want to see this guy again. You know what I would do, bro? Remember, I got the book for this Mania too. I would book him against Trick Williams, and Trick Williams wins in 10 minutes. That's what I would do.
But he already won the chamber.
No, I know. But I mean, I would not have him won the chamber.
Okay, so who would have won the chamber in your view?
Cody. And you do Cody. I would rather have Cody versus Drew, bro, even though it's been played out, or Cody versus Drew versus Jacob, even though I didn't want that match either. But we're not gonna get that. I mean, we might. I don't know, bro.
Brother, we've talked about this like 3 times on this show, bro. Rewind it, watch from the beginning. All right. Then we have we got one match.
Yeah, but
left,
you didn't know nothing about it till I told you, bro.
No, I did hear about it, but I didn't know it was still going on. CM Punk, Roman Reigns. We talked about this already, but I said it depends on whether or not Roman's going to stick around. That's what it comes down to.
I don't know. I feel like we're going to get a fuck finish with that one, bro. And not so much a counter or DQ. I mean, there's going to be a big run-in. Because remember, like, lately...
For who?
I don't know if Punk turns heel in the match or...
What about Cody turning heel in the match with Randy? Or the other way around?
No, I think Cody, I think Randy's more over than Cody right now. Let's just put it that way. So you want to go with the guy that's less over if you want a heel turn.
Okay.
So I would do Cody as a heel. But
I would too.
But the question becomes, for water cooler talk purposes, do we do the build-up babyface versus babyface and we have the turn at the show, or we have him turn soon and go into Mania as a heel? Which one would you do?
I think they should turn him at the show, but the thing is,
so you want a Rock and Cena moment, like Rock in 2001 and Cena last.
You mean Austin Rock?
Oh, Austin. Yeah, Austin turned and then Cena turned.
Yeah, I would do it in the match. Cena
turned the month before. Never mind.
Right. It's different. I wanted him to turn that in the match. But no, I think you do it in the match. But the thing is, Raw is face versus face, even though they're tweeters, they're both basically faces, and so is SmackDown. You have 2 face versus face main events, but Punk is already kind of threading that razor's edge of being a heel. But I think one of these 4 guys has to leave WrestleMania as a straight up heel. Now, who you want it to be, that we could have a debate on that next few weeks if you want. But one of these 4 guys has to leave Mania a heel, because if they don't, then the whole year is going to get cursed with more bullshit. Like, they need something, bro, that people are going to remember, whether it be Punk going heel, Cody going heel. It can't just be a one-on-one wrestling match where somebody wins. It can't. It can't. You have to. WrestleMania is supposed to be the end, like the season finale, right? And a lot of season finales have cliffhangers for the next season. I think that, I'm not saying for both matches, but someone has to leave Mania a heel, bro, in my view.
What about, because we know from the real life, not from what they told us, the BS story, that one of the big arguments that Cody had with Dwayne
was that he didn't want to go heel.
Was that Dwayne wanted him to go heel at the Elimination Chamber where Cena turned heel. He wanted Cody to go heel.
Right. And then Cody said no.
Cody said not
Cody
yet.
and Paul.
Yeah, they said not yet. Well, what about if we have the big turn? Remember, they're doing that whole work shoot thing as the build-up for all the show pretty much. What about if during the match, whether it's with Randall K or a 3-way or whatever, we have fucking The Rock come down, bro. And then he finally does his whole like whatever.
He does it to Drew, and Drew thinks it's him, but it's actually Cody.
Yeah, but I want Drew to be confused rather than be agreeable, because being agreeable makes him an idiot. Being confused makes him like a real man. Like
well, I thought it would be a double turn where Drew would go face,
That's
or maybe Jacob, because Jacob is Rock's cousin, right?
Yeah, but Drew would be like, "What the fuck?" And then we get to hear, not like okay, because okay means you're an idiot for falling for The Rock, like not even really wanting to be your partner, you know. Whereas if you're confused, you'll be like,
but The Rock
why is he
could
telling me this shit?
Drew. The Rock could manipulate Drew, but The Rock could manipulate.
Yeah, but that's true. But they would have to explain it, like in on the upcoming TVs. I just don't want Drew to. If Drew's gonna turn face, he can't be coming out of it looking like an idiot. So he has to be somewhat smart, you know, and be like, "Why are you telling me that? I'm not with you." And then he turns around and
I prayed for this, Cody. I prayed for this.
They pinched me. They pinched me. Pinch me. And I've never respected that man since that. Not even with this run, which has been great, but not for me.
Happy Mother's Day.
All right. So remember when he was the world champion, bro? Back in your era, where Bobby Lashley was there, and you loved Bobby Lashley, you were they made him like become like Mel Gibson and Braveheart all the time, bro, with all these fucking stories. When I was a wee lad, I used to climb the mountain and grab all the best fruit. And it's like, bro, what are you? That's Vince McMahon right there. He would always try to like make everybody a cartoon, bro. That was so annoying. That's kind of what they're doing with Jacob Fatu right now, which is weird because Paul doesn't really do that.
So what do you think about these rumors that Vince is back in power or not back in power?
Nah, that's Mark shit, bro.
No, I mean I know that's bullshit. I see it every day on Facebook that Vince and the Saudis are going to buy WWE back, and that's if you're stupid enough to fall for that, bro.
They don't understand business, bro. They don't understand business.
God bless you, bro. Bless your little heart if you're dumb enough to fall for that. But I'm talking about the idea of Vince like still having some stroke in the company, bro, or the company or them bringing him back. That's the weird thing.
The reason why I don't believe that is because Paul didn't really agree with Vince either. If Paul and Vince were like in sync, okay, maybe, but they have different philosophies. So yeah, I feel like Paul's like, nah, bro, I'm in the chair now. You gotta stay, you know. And Paul has all that stroke right now because he's tight with everyone. So
but no, the answer with Dwayne.
No, actually, I think they actually legit hate each other. But Dwayne wouldn't want to bring Vince either. And also like, you know, the stock would collapse. Like, there's too much of a blowback if Vince were to come back. Now, what I will say is that in due time, and we're talking, who knows if he'll still be alive in 10 years, but the lore of Vince McMahon will be reintroduced little by little because it's already is. We're already starting to see him pop up in videos. Remember, he wasn't brought up at all for a long time.
For like a year.
Now we're starting to see the lore of Vince. So eventually he's going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Whether he's alive or not to accept is a different thing. But I will say the lore of Vince will be brought back. Whether the man is brought back is a different story.
All right. This will be the last thing before we go. Hall of Fame is AJ Styles, Stephanie McMahon.
Who inducts AJ, bro?
Huh?
Who inducts AJ? Jeremy Borash?
I would say Jeff Jarrett, bro.
Killing Kellogg's, bro.
I saw that, bro. He definitely killed Kellogg.
That man had a rounder face than Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah. Okay. Let me think for a minute.
Well, you know what? The real one should be Christopher Daniels and Samoa Joe, but that's not gonna happen because they're in the other territory.
No, right. I agree with you. They're and so is Jeff Jarrett. He's still in AEW, right?
Yeah. And it's fucked up. It's fucked up because from what I understand, their little four horsemen are Frankie Kazarian, Samoa Joe, AJ, and Daniels. And 2 out of the 3 are not there.
Yeah, Frankie ain't gonna induct him. This is not a bad idea, bro. Taker inducting him, the induct Taker.
Why though, bro?
Because who else is it gonna be,
he's
bro?
So played out, bro.
It ain't gonna be Air Paris.
I don't want to see Taker the fucking pussy whoop motherfucker, bro.
Air Paris. What about Low Key, bro?
Nah, bro. I don't think he'll make it past one day without getting in trouble.
That's true. I can't think of anybody else, bro.
No, it's probably gonna be
Kurt Angle's not a bad idea. I like that idea.
Yeah, Kurt Angle would be good.
That's a good one.
He'll be in little fallow mode with the way he looks now, but
yeah. with his smile and his beady eyes.
And he has the beady eyes, bro, that never move anymore.
That's right, the beady eyes, just like Mike Tyson.
I met AJ in 2006 when I went to TNA. He was great to work with. And it's like, what the fuck?
That's a pretty good impression, bro.
All right, so AJ to be determined.
How we make our
who ended up
magic.
Stephanie McMahon, bro? Paul?
Is
that an easy one? What about Randy Poffel, bro? I popped myself.
Yeah, but it's not even possible. Well, I mean, it's not gonna be Vinny. What if it's Linda, bro?
No, she's with Trump right now, bro. I don't think that's a good idea.
Is she with Trump or is she?
Well, she's in the cabinet. Yeah, no.
I mean, is she with Trump, bro? She's too old for Trump.
Yeah, but she's in the cabinet.
To the files, bro. Especially according to the files.
So wait a minute. So Stephanie will be Paul. That's an easy one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Demolition. They'll probably get the New Day and one of
Wait a minute. This is a whack. Well, let's think about this, bro. It can't be the Road Warriors.
Yeah, Kona Crush is dead. The Road Warriors are dead. Bro, most of their opponents are dead, bro. Ain't gonna be Hercules Fernandez.
Bro. Master Fuji's dead.
He would be a good one, bro. Wait a minute, bro. What about Barbarian and Warlord? They're not dead.
My Yokozuna, bro. Bro.
He used to say Yokozuna.
Why did he call him Yokozuna? Like,
no.
Okay, think about it. Like, this was a guy from Hawaii. He was not a Japanese man. He was an American, and he couldn't say Yokozuna.
Yeah, but also Yokozuna himself was a fucking Samoan, bro. He wasn't Japanese either.
Bro, when I was watching WrestleMania 9, it popped me because this guy called Hogan a yellow belly coward. You know how old that expression is, bro? I don't think a lot of our listeners or viewers know what a yellow belly is, bro. Because that's such like a World War I term. Like, yeah. Come on, yellow belly.
Like the big man upstairs, bro.
Come on, yellow belly. You say yes or no. My Yokozuna challenge you. And then the immortal slime is like looking at Brett. Even though we know because we're smart marks.
Brett's like,
no, but we know because we're smart marks that Brett wants to say don't go in there.
Yeah, but no.
But the kayfabe Brett has to say yes, you know?
Yeah. He co-signed Hogan getting the title, bro. That was the first Money in the Bank type of cash-in, bro, ever.
Was it?
It was.
Wouldn't it be Andre the French Giant in '88?
No, because he handed DiBiase the title, bro. It wasn't like he laid down for him. See, that would have been funny if he laid down and DiBiase covered him.
Yes, boss. Take my title.
Yeah.
What about if DiBiase would have put money in his mouth, bro, before he covered him? See, this
a lot of money.
It was so basic, bro. They wouldn't think of like adding spice to these storylines, bro, like me and you are right now.
Yeah, but that storyline worked. We can't argue that. It worked.
Well, remember, originally it was going to be plastic surgery with the twins, with the referees. Then they changed it to just twins.
And don't forget, Earl Hebner apologized for it. Like, was it like 2 weeks or 3 weeks after WrestleMania? He was just a regular referee after that. Hogan never got his revenge, bro.
Earl, Dave. Anyways, so yeah, that's where we're at, bro.
All right. We're gonna get out of here. Maybe we'll be back next week or the week after.
Wait a minute, before we go, I have one last question for you. Let me pull up the roster. Do you have any other matches that you want to see? Like, for example, I think we're gonna see Finn versus Dom in a match. Anything else that stands up to you or stands out to you that you think we're gonna see just what you've been seeing now? You said Logan Paul and
Seth and Logan and Austin Theory against the Usos seems to be where they're going. Seth and Braun seems to be where they're going.
Do you think they're gonna do anything with like the Wyatt Six and the MFTs, bro? Because they seem to be building that, even though that story's over like crotch rot. It seems
bro,
like
every time I hear Solo Sikoa's music, dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. I get bored immediately, bro. Like that guy's so fucking boring, bro. I hope they do something with like JC Mateo and them, but they probably won't.
Well, no, but they've been feuding like as if it's gonna be like this big match at WrestleMania, like a 5-on-5 or whatever.
Well, it might be like one of those like multiple tag team gimmicks, bro. See, I don't know, man. I honestly don't really care about that angle at all, bro. I just want Nikki Cross to do something, bro. She hasn't done shit. Who do we
pair Gunther with? We haven't talked about
That's a good question because people were asking me that last night during the Raw stream, and I have no idea.
Rey Mysterio to avenge Dragon Lee? Nah, that's too I wouldn't get excited for
I don't
that.
like that at all, bro. Like, I feel like it has to be somebody who people think might actually be able to beat him. Femi would have been a good choice, but he's with Brock.
Yeah, and then you would have to beat. Those two guys shouldn't be losing right now.
Yeah, right. I agree with you.
Yeah, I'm looking at the roster right now, and I don't see anybody, bro. I mean, you could feed him Penta for the title, I guess.
Or you could do like one of these multi-man matches for the title, throw him in there. He doesn't win, but he doesn't get pinned.
But
you
he
know
deserves
what I mean?
more than that, bro. He's like a top
I agree with
right
you.
now.
I agree with you. He retired Cena. He retired Cena, bro. I agree with you. Bring up Kazarian to avenge AJ, bro.
Nah, bro. Come on. No, I think, you know what? This would be wacky, bro, but it would work. It would be wacky, but it would work. I would try to build up a feud between Javon Evans and Gunther at WrestleMania, and then have Gunther win, obviously, at WrestleMania, but it would be a competitive match. I think that could work.
So you're saying Javon's not going to be the next Undertaker?
No, bro, come on. Because I don't see anybody else.
People
like,
were
there's
laughing.
nobody.
We were laughing so hard a year ago when somebody said that in this very show.
Yeah, but
somebody brought up Jericho, bro, but we don't even know when Jericho's contract is ending. I don't think he's going to be at WrestleMania. I think he'll debut the night after.
You know who would be the very definition of feeding him to Gunther if they wanted to go this route, bro? Is Damian Priest. If they want to just get through the night and have somebody kind of at his level, but that's not really protected anymore, then feed him Damian Priest. You know, that's what I would do.
Because what's he doing?
Yeah, he ain't doing shit, but he's on SmackDown. But I don't think that matters during this season.
No, I mean they could come up with angles and just have him show up.
Yeah, because everybody else is already accounted for, or they're not over enough. So that's a problem.
And that's the problem, is they don't have enough guys that are over. That was kind of the issue from the get-go.
I mean, they got Trick Williams, but you don't want him losing to Gunther at this, and they're both heels.
No, Trick will get programmed with somebody else, bro. They could program him with a lot of different people.
Yeah, I feel like this WrestleMania is gonna be weird.
It's gonna be thrown together. It's gonna be thrown together last minute.
But there's also a lot of guys that are not over enough to be on the show. But then you can't have like fucking 3 matches per night, bro. I mean, maybe you could, knowing Triple H. But...
Well, there's also the women's thing. They have the women's tag titles. They still could figure out. Is AJ gonna have a rematch with Becky?
Well, she has like an open challenge but that might be a TV feud.
Yeah, there's that, and then on the other side, Chelsea Green against who? Well, I think she's the U.S. champion, right? Julia again?
No, Julia's a U.S. champion, bro.
She got it back. Okay, Julia then.
No, the one that needs to have a top match that's kind of out with no one right now. It's Io Sky, bro. Because she's a top player. She's a top woman, you know.
I thought you were gonna say Charlotte because she's always got a big match, and then
No, you're right though. But I think they're gonna do Charlotte and Alexa versus Lash Legend and
nice snacks. Yeah,
because they've been building towards that, so they're already accounted for.
Right.
But yeah, Io Sky's left out. Charlotte,
Asuka, and what's her name are left out too, bro. Asuka and Kairi Sane are left out.
They're
probably gonna throw them into like a battle royal or something, right?
That was fucking lazy, bro.
Well, I mean, I agree with you. I'm not saying I want it. I'm saying they almost have to do that now.
Remember, bro, when they were trying to start that tradition and calling it the Moolah Cup, and then there was such a big like blowback from that they canceled
Moolah
it.
whored out women or some shit, right?
Yeah, she did, bro. And she lived with the midget for some reason.
I live with a midget and a 400-pounder.
All right, bro. As the weeks and months go by, we're gonna get a clearer picture of all this shit. But for now, we got we got 5 matches, which is good. So we'll see. Are you excited for SmackDown? Are you excited for it?
Not really. Like
you're getting a main event match, bro. What else do you want?
I'm still not excited about it. I mean,
what else is on that show?
There's nothing really exciting me about the product right now. Now at Revolution, we've got MJF, Adam Page, which will be good.
In a Texas death match.
Texas death match, yeah. And then if Page loses, he'll never challenge for the belt again, which means he's gonna win. FTR against the Young Buckaroos again, but that's a good one.
That's their 3rd time in AEW, right? They're 1-1, I think.
No, wait, we talk about Hangman and MJF?
No, it's the FTR versus the Young Bucks.
No, this is their 5th time, bro. Remember, the 4th time was that one All In a couple years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, and then John Moxley and Konosuke to take a shitta. Time limit.
That's gonna be my bathroom break match, bro.
And then Andrade against Bandito.
That's gonna be a great match.
And Brody King's gonna wrestle
Okada. No, not Okada. He did that last year.
He's gonna wrestle. Oh, I forgot who it was, bro. Somebody from the Callis family, but I forgot who.
Not Kyle Fletcher.
No, and not Josh Alexander either. I don't think.
No, I
Maybe
wouldn't
it
go to
is.
that. Fuck that, bro. They still have jobbers that I don't like, by the way, and Josh Alexander is one of them.
I mean, they've only got a couple weeks left, bro, to finish.
Yeah, but TK throws everything the last week, bro. He throws like 7 matches in like the last week. He always does.
Remember that one where he threw like 4 matches in the weekend of, bro? Like a day before the show, he announced like 4 matches. So, anyways,
yeah, no, that's it. Yeah, but I'm looking forward. I'll be there live for that one.
They said that I was frozen. I wasn't frozen. I just opened up a different window. All right. Yeah. Well, I hope you have a good time there, and I'm sure we'll be back. Remember, the show's on World of Geekdom. We're also streaming it on X, but World of Geekdom is the YouTube channel, so make sure you're there and check out the Facebook group, the KLB, if you want to join.
That's on Facebook if you want to join.
KLB, K Fabulous Lucha Brothers on Facebook. There's a page, there's a group. The group is the one that he's talking about.
Our tag team name before they took it from us.
Yeah, that we had that name for a long time.
11 years before Penta and his jobber of a brother took it from us.
His jobber of a, what do you do with him, bro?
Nothing. You continue to job him out.
All right.
He lost to Trick Williams. He lost to what's that big guy they have in the MFTs, bro? The guy from Japan.
Hikuleo, yeah.
That's not his name in WWE, but I forget.
Anyways, no, Hikuleo's a better name, anyways.
Bro, they did a Vinny, bro, where they fed him the real small guy, Ray Phoenix, and then he did the whole jobber thing where he just bumped for him and he got pinned.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe that when I saw that shit, bro.
Yeah, like, that's what Paul and Vinny are not all that different, bro.
This is Ray Phoenix, and he's being thrown around by Hikuleo, bro, in like a squash match, like Virgil was with Big Sid, bro, back in the 9-2.
Yeah. All right, brother. Well, we'll talk to y'all later. Take care and have a good one. I don't know what to say. I don't have an outro video. I should have one. I'll make one later.